Reset. Chapman has won the toss and elected to defer their offense in the second half.
And welcome into the Pine Bowl on the campus of Whitworth University in Spokane, Washington. It is time for the first round of the NCAA Division III playoffs. They have just conducted the coin toss on the field, and the Chapman Panthers, the visiting team, have won the toss and has elected to defer their choice. So they will be kicking off to the Whitworth Pirates. Hello, everyone. Bud Namick along with former Whitworth player, coach, and high school football coach Matt Meathy. The Chapman Panthers are 8-2. The Whitworth Pirates are 8-2. And, Matt, both these teams got off to a slow start, each put together a winning streak. The Panthers have won 8 straight to go unbeaten in the SCIAC Conference. The Pirates, 7 straight wins to go unbeaten in the Northwest Conference.
Yeah, it's been a fun season watching both these teams as far as going out and winning their conference titles. And like almost every year, this first round of the playoffs matches the Northwest Conference and the SCIAC. And we're at it again. Right now, the Northwest Conference has won every one of those matchups since 2018. And the Chapman Panthers are up here trying to change that trend.
And it was Chapman that won over Linfield in 2018 in a triple overtime game. So big win for Chapman. Chapman is in the black pants and white tops with the black helmets. The Pirates are in the white pants with the black tops and the black helmets. So it's going to be interesting. Carson Nichols will kick it off for Chapman from our right to our left. A little bit of sunshine today, a few high filtered clouds, 45 degrees, a beautiful crisp November afternoon here in Spokane. Chase Gomes will be deep for the Pirates along with Tyson Hoke. Caleb Northcroft has been back there. He's the leading receiver for the Pirates, but tweaked his knee in practice on Thursday, not in uniform today. And the Pirates are going to be without another big offensive threat. We'll tell you about that after the kickoff. Great to have you with us, the Panthers and the Pirates from the Pine Bowl. Winner advances to round 2 to take on Wisconsin River Falls. A very short kick, and it'll be Gomes coming up at the 11 to make the catch and gets out to the 25 with some blockers and stays up the sideline, and Pirates will have decent field position to get this football game underway. Starting lineup for the Pirates, Logan Lacio, a quarterback, junior out of Palolo, Hawaii. Completes 70% of his passes, 18 touchdowns, 3 picks on the year. They will be without all-conference running back Luis Salgado, the senior out of Pasco, just shy of 1,000 yards and has scored 11 touchdowns this year, but he's had an ankle trouble, so he's not going to start. Kurt Solano gets a start on the background, junior out of Des Moines. Dawson Tobeck in the slot, Taylor Wells, the tight end, Tyson Hoke, Deacon Dietz, the wide receivers for the Pirates, who have a first down and start from their own 34. They'll go out of the shotgun most of the time. And here's the fake handoff, the pass to Wells. The tight end makes the catch, and he's going to get a first down and more on the first play for the Pirates as he gets past the midfield stripe.
Nice job right there, just getting the ball out to the tight end quickly. Wells does a phenomenal job, and as those scripted plays pull up, you like seeing him give the ball to him right away. Wells has been a steady force in this offense.
An explosive play to start the day, 19 yards on the pass. 3-man front for Chapman defensively. Here's Logan Lacio over the middle, and it's intercepted. Jacob Gotti with the pick. He's down the sideline with room to roam. He's at the 40 and runs into a Pirate. It's Lacio, the quarterback, who knocks him out of bounds. Lacio has thrown just 4 interceptions this year now, and what a poor way to start the game for Whitworth. And Chapman with a big burst to start this football game.
Yeah, 8th interception on the season now for Chapman, and it sets him up right here just inside the 30-yard line, actually inside the 25. They're at the 24-yard line, and this is a picture-perfect start for the Chapman Panthers.
And that quarterback, Tyler Pacheco, the offensive player of the year in the SCIAC Conference, was a wide receiver against Whitworth in the game these two teams played in the non-conference portion of the season a year ago. Fisher Huss is the running back. Cade Zimmerman, number 2, is the best receiver. Brandon Manzano will catch passes as well. A veteran offensive line. Luke Jones over the ball at center. Pacheco in the shotgun. Ball on the left hash from the Pirate 24. That's Manzano through the formation in motion. Pacheco to throw on first down, dumps it off, and it is caught immediately by Hush, the running back, but tackled immediately by Trey Rose, the safety.
Interesting to see the play call there, just coming out and throwing the ball on first down. Chapman, typically a very run-heavy offense. Over 65% of their offensive plays are actually handing the ball off with that 3-headed monster they got in the backfield.
Yeah, Pacheco, Huss, and Andrew Latu, who will be in as well, each over 500 yards rushing. 2nd down and 6 at the 20. Pirates bunched up on the line, and here's the play fake, and Pacheco keeps and will pick up a couple of yards. Hunter Latier able to wrestle him down along with help from Trey Rose, so it sets up a third and fairly short coming up for the Panthers.
Kind of a strength versus strength here. Pirates rushing defense been really solid all year as well, right at that 100-yard mark per game. But Chapman likes to go on the ground. They continue to move the ball on the ground, over 200 rushing yards a game.
4 of the 5 offensive linemen earned all SCIAC honors. 3rd and 4. Huss in the backfield, left of the quarterback, Pacheco. And it's Pacheco with it. He's hit in the backfield and dropped. A big play by the Whitworth defense and force what you would expect to be a field goal opportunity.
That's a really good job by Lane Watkins, defensive end there for the Pirates. Just staying even with the line of scrimmage, not getting too far upfield, knowing that there's so many times that Pacheco's going to pull the ball and keep it. He was right there when he did.
Carson Nichols will try the field goal, I should say. 9 for 15 on the year. He's had a couple blocked, but this would be a 40-yard attempt. His long, his long on the season is 39. So can they take advantage of the turnover and put points on the board? Pirates have blocked 8 kicks this year. That one's on the way, and it has just enough distance, but he missed it right.
Wide right, and the Pirates cheering on the sideline here. Coaches are pumped, looking for a stop, and that's exactly what the Pirates got.
So each team's had a possession. The Pirates turned it over, and now a missed field goal for Chapman. So Whitworth will get another opportunity offensively, and we'll see what they're able to do here. The ball will be on their own 23-yard line.
That's a big stop for the Pirates right there. You get that turnover just inside the 30-yard line, and the Pirate defense strong and steady.
Offense breathes a sigh of relief after the interception. Here's the handoff to Kurt Solano, finds a little bit of running room. Gowdy is there to help make the tackle after a gain of about 5 or 6, and that's an important thing to get some positive yards on first down to make those second and third downs a little easier to maintain.
Well, that, and it's a big thing for Solano as well. He's not planning on being the guy right away. Instead, he gets the call and gets a good 6-yard pickup on his first carry.
So 2nd and 4. Drake Matthews at one wide receiver along with Dawson Tobeck in the slot. H-back on the left of the Pirate formation. Lacio taking his time. 4-man front with Zimmerman, linebacker up on the line of scrimmage. Here comes another backer. Handoff Solano, able to get past the first push and then pushed back. Might have picked up about a half a yard is all.
Yeah, Chapman likes to play a lot of games up front. They like to move, slant, loop. They do a lot of work with their linebackers to get to the quarterback as well. Makes it a little tricky for those offensive linemen to stay on their tracks and make sure that they're getting that first defender push.
3rd and 2, big play for the Pirate offense. They convert 43% on the year. Trips to the right, the open side of the field. Here comes a little pressure, quick toss, and it's a tight end. Wells, or actually it's Matthews who makes the catch, and that's a Pirate first down.
It's a really good job just keeping your eyes on the football, keeping focus on the catch that you needed to have with a defender blanketing right there. Good first down for the Pirates, one that was needed for them, and trying to keep a little momentum going here.
Matthews getting some extra playing time with Caleb Northcroft unable to play in that wide receiver position. Northcroft actually the top receiver coming into the game with 31 catches for the Pirates. First down, snap, Solano handoff, little running room, and stays on his feet as he took some contact and got to the 45. Gain of 8.
Again, good to see Solano getting some traction here in the running game. It's one of those complicated things when you're in the locker room and on the sideline during warm-ups and you're not expected to play that much. All of a sudden, Salgado goes down, and here you go. You're the man.
2 tight ends on the right of the formation for the Pirates now. Solano, a guy known for his speed, not necessarily for being able to run physically up the middle, but he did a nice job of it that time. 2nd down and 2 for the Pirates. And they give it back to Solano, go to that strong side. He got the first down and into Chapman territory at the 48.
Really good job for Solano there, just making one cut and getting upfield and getting the yardage that he's getting every time. Again, you can dance a lot back there. If you're dancing, the odds of you actually gaining yards don't work real well. Really good cut and movement.
This is the spot where Lacio threw the interception on the first drive. See what happens here. 1st and 10, Chapman 48. 9:25 remaining, opening quarter. We're scoreless. One of these winning streaks will survive, one will come to an end, and a season will come to an end. A lot of drama in North Spokane. Lacio shotgun, Solano middle, tried to bounce it outside, couldn't do so. Nice defensive play that time by the interior of the defense for Chapman. That was Andrew Buck, Defensive Player of the Week in the SCIAC Conference. He was first in the conference in tackles, made a big play there.
Yeah, Buck did a really good job of wrapping up, keeping his feet moving. Solano's been a little slippery there in the first few carries. Buck did a good job of making sure he didn't slip by him.
Buck, a guy went to Eastern Michigan originally, then played a couple years of JUCO ball, just a junior for the Panthers now. Again, the Pirates using that tempo of slow, which they tried to use last week as well, trying to keep the ball out of the potent throwing hands of University of Puget Sound. 2nd and 10, Lacio in the shotgun. Here comes some pressure, and he's going to go down. That was Jacob Gowdy, who had the sack earlier. Gowdy, the junior out of Iolani School in Hawaii, comes up with the sack.
Yeah, Gowdy, that was just a delayed blitz there off the edge. As soon as he saw the pass was there, waited for the pass set to drop, and at that point had an opening. Gets in there, Gowdy, phenomenal player for Chapman. He was a preseason All-American, showed us all right there why he was.
Had an interception for a touchdown earlier this year, a pick 6, and had the pick to start the contest here. 3rd team preseason All-American, D3. 3rd and 19. You don't have a lot of play calls in the book for this one. Lacio, here comes pressure, sets up a screen. Solano the catch, couple of blockers. We got hit from behind. Nice play that time by Kelton Jones, who's one of the many players from the west side of Washington, out of Issaquah High School, and made that stop.
Yeah, Jones just reaching for an ankle there. I think if he misses that, then Solano's got some room. But right there, sure-handed grab of the foot, and it stops this Pirate drive. They'll be punting to Chapman now.
Matthew Herzog, the punter for the Pirates, averages 40 yards a kick, sophomore out of Gonzaga Prep. Brendan Manzano, the wide receiver, the return man, averages about 14 yards a return. Pretty good kick return average as a punt returner. Cash Cook is the long snapper for the Pirates. Here comes Chapman after a pretty good rush, but Herzog gets the kick away. Fair catch called for by Manzano, fumbles the football, and he ends up getting it out of bounds. It'll be Chapman ball.
Yeah, unfortunate there for the Pirates. Seeing a return man drop the ball kind of gets your eyes wide. Everybody in the stadium here started oohing and ahhing. Unfortunately, it was such a good kick that it was near the sideline, and it trickled out of bounds.
Tyler Pacheco and the offense will get started on the 13-yard line. Luke Jones will step up over the football. Lane 40, Gavin Scott on the left of the line, Teddy Butner, Zach Miller on the right for the Panthers. See what they elect to do as they're backed up a little closer to their goal line. Andrew Latu's in the backfield. He gets the handoff, trying to find some running room right side and pushes forward across the 15. Gain of a couple for Andrew Latu.
Yeah, good job right there. Trevor Gravel slides in, makes the tackle. Again, I expect Chapman right now to do what they do well and run the football. It's one of those things for this offense, trying to find their times to throw the ball, but you can expect about 2/3 of the time it's going to be a handoff.
And a good first down gain of 4. Like the Pirates, the Panthers looking over the sideline after getting ready to snap the ball. 2nd and 6. Ball at the Chapman 17. Checo in the backfield in the shotgun. Gives it to Latu again, tries right side, eluded one tackle, and then Hayden Throneberry and Wyatt Hess, couple of safeties come up and make the stop. It's going to set up a 3rd down.
Yeah, a couple good carries right there for the Panthers. That mindset of it doesn't really matter if we can get 3 or 4 yards a carry. We can keep moving the chains. Last time they played the Pirates had multiple drives that were long, 60, 70, 80, 90-yard drives.
Yeah, 2 75-yard drives. One went 90 and another went 99. Now they need a yard, 3rd and a yard. Latu hit and drives forward and will have the first down.
Boy, Latu just got that too. Was contacted in the backfield, just ran his feet, kept the feet moving, picks up the first down.
So 3 carries by Latu results in a movement of the chains. Ryan Borchers comes back in for the Pirates at that Pirate linebacker spot, sophomore out of Mount Spokane High School. First year as a starter, has done a nice job in that Pirate spot. Manzano, the receiver to the right. Zimmerman, the dangerous receiver to the left, with Chris Knutson, the defender for the Pirates, on first down. Pacheco in the shotgun, moves Latu over to the right, now shifts him back to the left. Low snap, time, pass out to Zimmerman, he couldn't hang on.
Yeah, that ball was just thrown a little too far to the outside there. Zimmerman had sunk down, ran a hitch, was ready for it, and ball just sailed a little bit. Zimmerman unable to carry it in.
2nd and 10, 4:45 to go, opening quarter. We're scoreless. First round of the NCAA Division III playoffs. So does this take you out of a run at 2nd and 10? We'll see. 4-man front for Whitworth. Again, the teams get ready for the snap and then turn and look. So we're going to have a little slower pace game today. Pirate corners come up in press coverage. We're showing blitz, now back off, handoff to Latu, and it's actually Pacheco kept it, and the Pirates weren't fooled, and they throw Pacheco for a loss of a yard or so.
Yeah, really good discipline up front there again. As often as Chapman's wanting to run that quarterback option, Pirates have to stay disciplined, can't crash on that running back too quickly, because as soon as you do, Pacheco's going to pull the ball and be off to the races.
Was that a straight run, or was it a RPO?
I believe that there was a straight run. I think if in that situation, if there's something Pacheco saw that he really liked pre-snap, he could have thrown the ball, but I think they decided to keep it right away as a run.
Pirates bring in their freshman pass rush specialist, Mason To'omalatai out of Hawaii. He'll be at the DN. 3rd and 11. Pacheco gets the snap. Here comes some pressure, gets it off over the middle, has the drag route to Zimmerman. Pirates trying to keep him short of the first down marker, and it's going to be close. Let's see what the spot is. He got very close, might have picked it up.
Yeah, this could be a measure. No, they're saying 4th down, bud. Looks like a 4th down right here. Chapman thought they had it. And, now they're changing it there. Now it is a 1st down. It's right at the line to gain.
Just didn't get to the 35. So a big 3rd down conversion on that one for the Panthers.
Well, Zimmerman's just such a big body. As soon as he got the ball, crossing route, catches the ball, you knew it had to take a sure tackle to bring him down. He was able to escape one and pick up that 1st down.
5 catches, 104 yards, couple touchdowns against Whitworth last September. 1st down handoff to Fisher Hess. Dances a little bit to try to let the line create some room, and they got about 2 yards for him is all.
Well, the Pirates starting to get a little more stingy there defensively in the run game, which is good, knowing that Chapman's going to want to run the ball as much as they do. Chapman comes in, they bring Hess in, give him a couple of looks. They keep rotating those running backs to keep them fresh.
Now they've got 2 backs in for the first time today, both Huss and Latu, along with Pacheco. So there's your 3-headed rushing monster. Not quite a wishbone, but harken back to the day. Huss motions out of the backfield to give him trips right. Here's the snap to Pacheco. Here comes pressure from Watkins, and the Pirates will go down with the sack.
Yeah, Watkins, a couple big plays now. Him getting that tackle for loss in the last series and the sack there. Really good job of backing him up. And again, now you put Chapman in a position where they've got to try to do something that's not a strength of theirs, picking up long 3rd down conversions.
Yeah, loss of 8 on that play, so it's 3rd and 16 now. Watkins with, I'm not sure if he'll get a full sack or a half sack on that one. If it's a half, he'll go up to 6 on the year. He's had a tackle for loss in every game this year except 1. Ball on the left hash, 3rd and call it 15 for the Panthers. Pacheco drops, has time, throws over the middle, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Hunter Latier for the Pirates. And he'll be tackled right about the 35-yard line. So the teams have traded first quarter turnovers.
Really big right there for Latier just to be able to pick that ball off, but almost as impressive as the interception was, as soon as contact was made and Chapman started swinging at that football, he made sure to cover it up and keep it tight. Looked like an offensive player there finishing a run. Did a really good job of protecting the football.
Well, most of these guys have probably played offense in high school.
Yeah, when you're playing college football, I can almost guarantee you, depending on the team you played for, but you're a guy that's played on both sides of the ball most of your life.
Now we'll see if Whitworth can take advantage. Owen Harris is in the lineup, the sophomore out of Coeur d'Alene, in a pistol position behind his quarterback, Logan Lacio. Again, Luis Salgado is out. And the play fake to Harris. Here comes pressure. And going down, Lacio. The tackle that time by Kelton Jones. Again, a stunting linebacker. And that's something the Pirates are going to just have to guess and hopefully guess right.
Well, you do. And in that time, Chapman brought the pressure away from the running back. And so you had one less guy on that side, on the right side of the offense, to pick it up. And so in that situation, it makes it awfully tough. You're really 2 against 3. You got to be able to escape as a quarterback or throw it away there.
Second sack of the day already for the Panthers, using that pressure. 2nd and 17 Pirates at the Chapman 41. Under a minute to play in this first quarter. Lacio rolling to his right, trying to find a receiver, dumps it off, and it's incomplete. I'm not sure who he was throwing that to. There was really no Pirate in the area, but he was outside the tackle box, and the ball went past the line of scrimmage, so there's no grounding.
Well, the reason it was so far away from a Pirate is because number 16 for the Chapman Panthers there, Kyle Sieben, got his hand on it and actually deflected it midair. He was trying to hit the out route underneath. I believe that was Taylor Wells trying to hit the first down marker, but it was deflected just briefly on the way there and ends up landing a few yards short.
So big third down here for Whitworth. If they can pick up some of this, but not all of it, they might get into Idenbone field goal position. We'll see. 3rd and 17. Base rush by the Panthers. Lacio still under pressure. Rolls out, and he's going to have to – he had a chance to get rid of the ball. Still on his feet. Stays on his feet. Back to midfield. Puts the ball up for grabs, and it's intercepted. Off and running is the backup or the corner, Caleb Padrid, who made the interception. So, boy, things are just going backwards for the Pirate offense. 2nd turnover of the day. And remember, they came in as one of the best in the nation at taking care of the football.
Yeah, uncharacteristic for the Pirates here. And in that situation, moving right, moving left, Lacio is just trying to find something. A lot of times you get your eyes locked on a teammate down the field, and you start to forget about those defenders. And to be honest here, every player out there besides white and black looks very similar.
They
the
do.
fact that it's the same color helmet, same red outlining. He just threw it to the wrong side that time.
That ball was just thrown into traffic, though, no matter what the color of the helmet was. So Chapman gets it back. They dodge a bullet after the turnover of their own. 1st and 10 at their own 27. 36 seconds remaining in the opening quarter. Latu, the handoff, right side, pushes forward, and that was just a product of the offensive line getting some leverage. He ended up getting 4 on a play that might have gone for about 2.
Yeah, good push up there. I'm pretty sure that on the sideline there in between series, that Chapman offensive line had a conversation with the coach just saying, gentlemen, this is what we do and we do well. Let's start moving some bodies and picking up some first downs.
Perhaps see if they do snap it in time. Pirates jump offside, free play. Pacheco knows it, throws it up the sideline. Zimmerman makes the catch, and that's a free play. We'll get him out to the 49. So a mental mistake by Whitworth with the offside allows for the big gain on the final play of the quarter.
Well, and a good job right there. If you're going to throw the ball, why don't you throw it in the vicinity of that Zimmerman guy, because he's going to come down with it more times than not.
Pretty good at that, isn't he?
Yeah.
So the end of the first quarter, we are scoreless. But there have been 3 turnovers already, and Chapman has the ball near the midfield. You're watching Division III football playoffs on ESPN+.
Softball complex and into the music building across Campus Drive. Porta potties are available just outside the Pine Bowl in the back stand. There are no alcoholic beverages permitted in the Pine Bowl, and no smoking is allowed in the facility. Thank you for your cooperation. A full-service concession stand is available against the back bench behind the press box. You can download a free version of the game program to your mobile device by
Is that us right next door?
Sorry?
Whose box is that?
That's our coaches. Theirs are over there.
Okay. I was going to say, I thought that's what it was.
Someone's supposed to step out.
That's the girl in the
right
white hat. She's called a red hat, but she's got her arm up. So now that means there's 15 seconds left.
Just here next door.
Yeah.
You got to throw the ball out of bounds or just get down.
Yeah. I'm sorry? Yeah. Don't we have a full minute? Don't we have a full minute?
Isn't it when she steps back and spins around?
Is that what, I don't know.
That's what he told me.
Chapman with the first down thanks to the pass play out to the 49-yard line, just shy of the midfield stripe. First play of the second quarter, we're scoreless. Play fake, Pacheco wants to throw deep up the sideline, and he's got a man. Catch is made and quickly driven out of bounds, just given too much room that time as the receiver was Cash Henjum, a freshman out of San Juan Capistrano, California.
Yeah, he was just moving downfield as if he was going to run a fade, puts his foot in the ground, gets back to the sideline. Ball was thrown on time as soon as he got out of the break. Ball was caught. Good play there for Chapman.
Picked up 13, and Chapman on the move right now. First down. Pirates with a four-man front. Here's Pacheco going to run the option out to Huss, who breaks a tackle, gets down the sideline, finally driven out of bounds.
Yeah, really good job running the option there. First time we've seen a pitch in that option run. First time we've had a pitch man. It's been just a QB read. Choice of giving it or keeping it. That time you had the option to pitch it. Little speed option.
2nd and 2 now from the 28. After the 8-yard first down gain, gives them play calling opportunities. And Pacheco wants to throw. Has time. Here comes some pressure, and that's a coverage sack by the Pirates. Pacheco will get close to the line of scrimmage, but stay a yard shy, so call it sack number 2 for Whitworth.
Yeah, really good job there. Coverage sack. Pirates back in defense. Again, got to find Zimmerman, make sure he's locked up, but then let your defensive front get to the quarterback. And Pacheco there also, he runs the ball so well that it is one of his first choices when there's pressures to take off. That time there was nowhere to go.
3rd and 3. For my money, it's 2 rushing downs for the Panthers to keep the football moving. They've got strength on the right of the line, the short side of the field. Huss, the linebacker's on that side as well. And he's going to go. They're going to run a little reverse to Manzano. He's got a blocker. He's got first down and more. He's at the 20 and upended at about the 18-yard line. Chris Knutson came up from the corner and made the hit. We got a late hit called on Whitworth. Somebody hit the tight end, Jackson Muzzy, very late. And then there was a late flag. Well, there was a flag thrown in, but came from the back judge, but apparently not. So first down. So the reverse gets the first down at the 18-yard line into the red zone for the Panthers. That's interesting. I saw the back judge go into his pocket and throw something in the air. It looked like a flag, but elected not to enforce the penalty. We have not had a penalty yet. 12:35. Pirates show blitz in the second quarter. Here's the handoff. It is Huss. Got through that break and lost his footing at the 10. Otherwise, he scores.
Yeah, he's frustrated himself right there, slapping at the football. Just got tripped up, knows that if he kept his feet, there was nobody else there. Unfortunately for Chapman, he's tripped up short, but still a big 8-yard gain.
Now, Chapman on the year has outscored their opponents 105-37 in this second quarter. 2nd and 2. Huss breaks a tackle in the backfield, keeps the legs driving, and has a first down near the 6-yard line.
Yeah, Pirates were close there. Tyree Pearson had him locked in the backfield and just couldn't wrap it up and finish it.
They'll spot it at the 7, a gain of 3, but it's 1st and goal for the Panthers in the red zone. 4-man front for Whitworth. Linebackers probably come up tight to the line of scrimmage on this 1st and goal play. Fisher Huss is the running back, left to Pacheco. Pirates bounce around, hand off to Huss, hit behind line of scrimmage and driven down right at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, good job by the Pirates there. Luke Jacobson, good job making a tackle there right at the line of scrimmage. And Chapman right here just knows they've been able to move the football on the ground here in this drive, and they've still got 3 more opportunities to do so here if they choose to do so.
And they've got a good size offensive line to try to create some openings. Low snap. Pacheco wants to throw into Zimmerman, who high points it and catches it against Omari Williams for the touchdown.
Yeah, Zimmerman, really good job there. you have the size, you have the talent, and he just goes up and gets the ball. Zimmerman, 6'3", does a really good job of high pointing the football, and Omari Williams couldn't get there, and the touchdown for the Panthers.
Carson Nichols on to attempt the extra point. He's 28 of 32 on the year. We're going to give the Pirates a little different look with all the linemen lined up way left.
Yeah, the old swinging gate.
The old swinging gate. See what they elect to do here. And they do snap it and going to try to run it. And they've got some opportunity. The Pirates make the hit, and I don't think they made it.
Wow. Interesting to see that. Again, when you're running the swinging gate, you get up there, and it's just a counting game. At that point, you're looking to see, do we have an edge on any of the options we have to run right here? I know years ago in coaching here at Whitworth, we did the same thing, ran the swinging gate. As soon as you get to the line of scrimmage, usually your kicker will look back and make sure, what do you want, coach? You give him the option of what he chooses. And that right there, they go for the 2-point attempt. Even though they scored the touchdown, Whitworth holding the 2-point conversion gives them an opportunity where if they can put a drive together here, they could take a lead.
Yeah, that was Eugene Mayata, a wide receiver who caught that snap. So good drive by the Panthers. 11 plays, 73 yards. There's what we talked about earlier about Chapman being able to use a lot of time and drive it length of the field to score.
Yeah, that's exactly what they want to do. Those long drives, punch it in, keep the clock moving. Their time of possession, one of the best in the country. About 33 minutes a game is where they sit at. I believe that's good for number 11 D3 level. They want to control the football game, and on that drive, the Chapman Panthers did.
Now Pacheco's 5 of 7 for 59 yards. Interception and a touchdown now. Actually, it's more than that because the stat monitor hasn't caught up. We'll update the numbers in a minute. And the stat monitor is still stalled. 10:53 to go, second quarter. Carson Nichols to kick it off with his Chapman Panthers leading 6-0. And it's going to be Chase Gomes out of Hawaii to get a chance to field it at the 6. Try to bring it up the sideline, find a seam, and gets upended at the 24-yard line. Nice play on the kick by Brandon Brock. Made the stop.
Yeah, I know that in between series here, Pirate offense has been on the sideline. I know that the coaching staff for the Pirates had a conversation with the quarterback here, just telling him, hey, don't panic. You've done a phenomenal job all year long. I know you've got a couple interceptions, which is uncharacteristic for Lazio. Got to go out there and get the job done. Let's put a drive together.
First snap will come from the 24-yard line, and got Peterson with a little running room. The big tight end, Nate Peterson. Good first down gain.
Yeah, really good play call there. Said if Chapman can run a little reverse type action, we can too. They flip the ball to Peterson there, gets around the edge, picks up a first down for the Pirates. Good first down play.
Gain of 11 on the play. Lazio rolling to his right, has a receiver. Dawson Tobeck lost his footing and put a knee down at the 41.
Dawson Tobeck, sure-handed receiver for the Pirates. Does a really good job picking up some yards there. Gives the Pirates a 2nd down and 4.
Pirates trying to go on a little tempo here now. Or faking it. Thought they might go.
No, it's a really good idea, though, as you get a chance for the offensive staff to look at the way the defense is lined up here, kind of see if you want to stick with what you initially called or is there something else.
Solano in the backfield, 2nd and 4, Pirates from their own 41. Solano got the handoff, and there's nothing there. Great job by the Panther defense that time, led by a couple of different guys, but Wade Smith came up from his safety spot to be a part of that tackle. No gain.
Yeah, Tyler Hill had a piece of that tackle as well, kid out of Sammamish. Another Washington kid on the Chapman defense here.
Look at the Chapman defense, and there's a lot of west side of Washington and a lot of Bay Area guys as well. 3rd down and a long 4 for the Pirates here. Most likely a throwing down. Lacio in the shotgun. Here comes pressure late. Got it away, and it caught by Matthews, but he lost his footing, and it's going to be 4th and short.
Well, he lost his footing because the ball was thrown behind him. It was just a quick slant route. Your inside receiver runs a streak. Outside receiver cuts right underneath it for a slant. Really good kind of natural pick there. But because the ball was thrown behind him, he wasn't able to keep his momentum moving forward, and it brings up a 4th and 1.
Boy, 4th and about a half a yard, but the Pirates are going to play field position apparently and have Herzog booted away.
It is a prime opportunity here for a possible fake. I know Chapman knows that as well. Half a yard, is there something you want to do here?
Manzano, the deep return man. Herzog will kick it. A good driving spiral. Manzano calls fair catch very late, but does so at the 21. So the punt, and now the ball goes back to Chapman, and they have a 6-0 lead. We have 8:16 remaining in the first half. It's fast-moving first half.
Yeah, fast-moving because there's been so many handoffs, and when you do so, that clock keeps running.
Chapman trying to steal a road win and end a losing streak to Whitworth.
Pirates here have to buckle down and get a stop. Already Chapman scoring that first touchdown. You want to keep it a one-score game and not start letting those ideas of doubt start sitting in your head if you're Whitworth.
Trips to the left for Pacheco on first down. Gives it off to Latu. Finds some running room. Breaks a tackle against Thornberry. Still on his feet. Finally has to be dragged down by Wyatt Hess and Trey Rose from behind. But that's a heck of a run out to the 44.
Yeah, and that's kind of the mindset here for Chapman, right? As you keep running the football, you get 2 yards, 3 yards, 4 yards. But then if you can get one of those explosive plays, it starts to kind of eat away at that defense.
I just refreshed it. Ball's at the 44 of Chapman. Pirates with that 4-man front trying to bounce around on first down for Chapman. Little bubble screen out to Zimmerman. Got a block and got into Pirate territory. That's just going to be a tough play to stop.
Well, it is, and it's an extension of your run game in many ways. That time they put Zimmerman in the slot. They throw him the ball real quickly and let the athlete run.
Picked up 8, 2nd and 2. Makes those play calls a little more comfortable. They line up trips left. Zimmerman, Manzano. Latu will get the ball, and he'll have the first down. And still he's on his feet, and he's off at the 30, being chased from behind the 15. And that's going to be a run down inside the 5 to about the 3-yard line.
Yeah, it looked like he was going to score there. Took off. Looked like it was going to be a touchdown. Got tripped up there by a Pirate. Inside the 5-yard line, though. Great run by Chapman. This is exactly what they wanted. You have the lead. Now let's go put it in and get a 2-score lead.
Latu with a 22-yard run and then doubled it up with a 44-yard run. First and goal now from the 4. Keeping this Whitworth crowd very quiet.
You got to look at that matchup down on the bottom here again. Zimmerman.
Low snap. Pacheco hands it off. Latu dives left side. Still a scrum. Got to the 2, maybe the 1, depending on the spot.
Looks like they got a mark down there at the 2. And I like the idea there. Let's reward the young man. He's already carried the ball many times in this drive for some big yardage. Let's cap it off. Give him a handoff to see if he can punch it in. Didn't quite get it there. Again, now we got that matchup on the other side of the field. Omari Williams over there lined up against Zimmerman. Zimmerman got the best of him last time.
Got a tight end. James Casey in the backfield as a blocking back. Pacheco throwing it for Zimmerman, and it's incomplete. Threw it too tall. Taking advantage of what you were just talking about.
Yeah, just the matchup. Yeah, you have a 6'5" receiver. He's already caught 1 touchdown. Let's try it again. Fortunately for Chapman, that ball was thrown out of bounds there. Zimmerman's tall. He's not that tall. He had to have been maybe 8'5" there if he's going to make that catch.
So even Kareem wouldn't have caught it, huh?
No, I doubt it.
or the 7'9" freshman who's playing at Florida State.
Yeah, interesting. You see this a lot now. You had the substitution for Chapman, so the Pirates slowly run a defender on.
Latu in the backfield, low snap, Pacheco. Going to throw into the other corner, double cover to Zimmerman, and the ball was thrown too tall.
Yeah, that's back-to-back times there that the ball was thrown a little bit too much. That was just a little short post corner from Zimmerman. They had run the fade twice. That time it looked like it was going to be a slant, put his foot in the ground, got to the back pylon of the end zone. But again, ball just overthrown a little bit too much, and here comes that field goal team.
So earlier, Nichols with that field goal attempt set a Chapman record for the most field goal attempts in a season with 16. Nobody's ever made double figures. He's made 9 on the year. So he's going to have a chance here with virtually an extra point from the left hash. This will be a 19-yard field goal attempt. He's 3 of 6 from up to 29 yards so far this season. Snap is good, spot is good, the kick is on the way, and it is good. So Nichols sets a school record with that 10th field goal of the year. Only 5:32 left in the first half. It's now 9-0 Chapman over Whitworth. You're watching the Division III playoffs on ESPN+.
Fans, take home a souvenir from today's championship. Visit NCAA
These breaks all about a minute.
inside the Pine Bowl.
Whenever she's right there,
Yep.
when she does she'll do like this.
Nine nothing Chapman with the lead in this one over the Whitworth Pirates. So now it's imperative on the Pirate offense to come up with some points because remember, Chapman won the toss and deferred. So they will be getting the football to start quarter number 3. So this becomes a very important 5-minute drive for the Pirates, who've run 17 plays for only 55 yards. Chapman's defense has been outstanding so far. And 2 interceptions thrown by Logan Lacio. Shorter kick, Gomes came up and then had to retreat to the 6, trying to find a little running room and got across the 25 this time to about the 28-yard line.
Yeah, Gomes just missed a running lane there. He cut that ball back inside. There was a pretty good block that would have bounced outside. Don't know how far he could have made it, but gets tripped up there just inside the 25, or just inside the 30-yard line at the 29.
Last week against California Lutheran in the championship of the SCIAC, Panthers were down 17-14 at the half. First time they've been down at the half all season. Right now it looks like they're going to have a lead as Lacio rolls to his right, steps up, throws, and Deacon Dietz makes the catch and gets the first down.
I like the play call there for the Pirates is just get Lacio out of the pocket, get him on the run, open up that throwing lane a little bit without hands in his face and let him get a good throw off.
Picked up 13 on the first down play. Line set as the Pirates look over with Tyson Hoke at wide receiver and Dawson Tobeck on the open side of the field near the Pirate sideline, closest to you on the screen. H-back and a receiver on the right with Solano in the backfield. Play fake to Kurt. Lacio throws, and that is incomplete. Dietz covered well that time by Caleb Padrid, who had the interception earlier.
Yeah, that's tough right there, trying to throw the ball to the sideline, a little out route. Problem is, Lacio just stared him down the whole time, didn't give any kind of ball fake, so it was a pretty easy pass to defend.
I think I said Caleb Padrid on the interception earlier. It was actually Miles Grossman, the other corner, who had the interception. 1 of 2 thrown by Logan Lacio already. 2nd and 10, Pirates, trips to the left. Trying to create something offensively. Here's Solano trying right side, cuts it back, and that ends up being a pretty good game, but it's going to be 3rd and probably 5.
Yeah, but it's important that the Pirates don't give up on the running game. Even though you're down a couple scores now, down 9-0, you can't just sit back there and air it out. This Chapman defense been very good defensively, but running the ball keeps more options open.
3rd and 4 for the Pirates. See if the way Chapman likes to move guys around, see if they bring a linebacker. Haven't seen much screen pass action from the Pirates yet. We'll see what happens here. Lacio looking over the defense on 3rd down. Here comes the pressure late, trying to run away from it. Gets away, has time, dumps it out, and has a sliding catch, and that will be a Pirate first down. Dawson Tobeck.
Yeah, really good job that time by Logan Lacio as he exits congested backfield, rolling to his left, gets a good ball off, throws it right on the dime, and you get Tobeck there making the sliding catch for the first down.
Lacio now 8 of 12, but the 2 interceptions. Trying to get the Pirates on the board here to make it a tight game at intermission. It's 9-0 Chapman right now, coming up on 3.5 minutes to play in the first half. Each team with all 3 timeouts remaining, of course the 2-minute stoppage as well. Trips to the right, the open side of the field. Solano trying to find running room and does. He's at the 40, the 30 with a blocker, and knocked out of bounds inside the 20-yard line.
Great run by Solano there. He's 1 block away from busting that to the house. But a big play for the Pirates now. It's, I think, really a good idea to slow down a little bit, keep this clock moving so that you're the last to score in this half.
37-yard run. Actually, make it 25-yard run for Kurt Solano, his longest of the year. 3 minutes left in the half. 9-0 Chapman. Pirates trying to change that. Trips to the right. So the field flipped from where they ran that play a moment ago. Snap, Lacio rolls right, dumps it off, and it's knocked down. That was Tate Zimmerman, who's the defensive player of the year in the SCIAC for plays like that.
Yeah, really good play by Zimmerman there. He's sitting over there saying, you know what, my brother's tearing it up on the offensive side. Let me show everybody what I can do over here on the defensive side.
Started his career at New Mexico. Had a big game against Boise State last year, and then wanted to play with his brother his final year. Comes closer to home to Chapman.
It's not a bad pickup for Chapman.
Not at all. So Pirates with the tight formation. Peterson in an H-back right behind Taylor Wells, the tight end. On 2nd and 10, they're in the red zone. Snap, handoff Solano, trying to find some room. Got hit at the 16 and driven down. Jacob Gowdy with that contact at the 16.
Yeah, good run there. I think that play call was just as much to keep the clock moving as it was to try to get a few yards. And Solano had already busted one, so hand the ball off. Unfortunately for the Pirates, they only pick up 3, and it brings up a long 3rd down here.
They do not have to snap it before the 2-minute break. We'll see if they elect to do so on 3rd down. In this situation, down by 9-0, they could settle for the Eidenbone field goal here and make it a 1-score game. Obviously, their preference is to get the touchdown. 9-0 is our score. Chapman leads Whitworth. Pirates trying to change that with 2 minutes left in this first half. You're watching NCAA Division III playoffs on ESPN+.
Alumni and family members to our tent at halftime for some tasty snacks, courtesy of your friends in institutional advancement. You can find us under the red canopy near the fountain.
How's this work? Like, what is it?
Which is a regular timeout, just they stop the clock.
Oh, it is doing a timeout.
It's like a timeout. So I guess I don't even need to touch you. Do you have to hit anything to send it to them?
I have to pull up the commercial break thing.
Okay,
So it's
gotcha.
up for you to know.
All right. Most of the other games in Division III playoffs are final. This is the last one of the day. Right now, Chapman up 9-0. Pirates on 3rd and 7 from their own 16. They flip things and have the heavy formation on the left. That's where Solano is with 2 receivers to the right. Lacio looking over the Panther defense. Gets the snap. Here comes pressure. He's going to step away from it. Has a little room. And he's going to try to run for it now and then throws it and gets the first down. He was behind the line of scrimmage, made the toss. And that'll be a Pirate first down.
Really, really good job for Lacio there, as it looked like he was going to be able to take off and run the ball. He tucked it for a second. As soon as he saw the open receiver, pulled it back and got the ball out.
Picked up 8 to the 8-yard line. First and goal for the Pirates at the 8 with 1:51 remaining in the half and all 3 timeouts for Whitworth. Gomes and Hoke will line up to the left, the open side of the field. Again, that double tight end look on the right with Peterson, the H-back, Solano in the backfield on first and goal from the 8. Solano will try to run it into some traffic and dove towards the 5. They'll mark him at the 6. Solano, 2 yards. Second and goal from the 6.
Well, and there's the timeout. I was wondering if it was going to be Chapman or Whitworth that would use one sooner. And Chapman wants to stop the clock so they have a chance to get the ball back.
1:46 to go, second quarter, 9-0. Chapman with the lead. SCIAC champion and the Northwest Conference champ have met every year in the first round of the playoffs since 2018. And it was in that year, 1 year later in 2019, when Chapman defeated Linfield in triple overtime in McMinnville, Oregon. That's the only win for the SCIAC in the first round in this series. Whitworth defeated Chapman 2 years ago, 42-28 on this field in the Pine Bowl. Right now, Chapman with the upper hand, 9-0. There have been 2 turnovers by Whitworth, 1 by Chapman. We have not seen a flag from the officials in this game yet.
Yeah, and I think we should stop talking about it because we like the clean game, and it has been. And it's what you expect from 2 conference champs and 2 good teams that we got here today, playing clean football. The only blemish has been a couple turnovers.
2 by the Pirates, 1 by the Panthers. Second and goal, officially from the 5-yard line. Solano in the backfield with Luis Salgado unable to play today for the Pirates. And Lacio has a man open but couldn't get it to him. The ball deflected. I think it was Kelton Jones who got a hand on it. Nate Peterson was open and would have caught the ball at about the 2 and had a pretty good chance to score.
Yeah, really good job there. Getting the hand in the air, just making sure you get a chance to deflect it if possible. I think that was a touchdown had the ball gotten through.
How big's the difference here if Whitworth is able to get a touchdown versus having to try a field goal?
Well, even more than the points, it's just the momentum and feeling like, all right, we're able to do what we do normally. You need points regardless. The touchdown, though, gives you a little bit of momentum and just that confidence of, hey, we're in this thing, we're fine. Chapman trying to keep him out of the end zone, though, and been real stingy.
Third and goal and whistles. Timeout called by Whitworth before the snap. So the coaches on the sideline saw something they didn't like, so they elect to stop the clock for the first time today. Coming up at halftime, we'll give you all the D3 scores, take a look at some other college football action, and update you on what's happening around the campuses. Basketball teams in action for both Whitworth and Chapman. We'll tell you all about that coming up at halftime. Right now it's 9-0. Chapman with the lead over the Whitworth Pirates.
It'll be interesting to see play call here. I don't think it really matters whether they run or throw the ball. If they do get the ball in the air, the Pirates have been really explosive this year, even in the red zone. But running the ball doesn't matter because we still got a lot of timeouts available on both sides, each team with 2 timeouts left. So if the Pirates try to hand it off to be able to get the clock moving, Chapman can still stop it. But on third down, you got to come up with your best play here. What can we do from 5 yards to get in the end zone?
We'll see what Jimmy Surf, the offensive coordinator for the Pirates, has come up with. David Bishop, the defensive coordinator for Chapman. Pirates come out in that same formation that they had before the timeout, with Solano in the backfield, the heavy tight ends on the right, and 2 receivers to the open side of the field, the side near the Pirate sideline. Lacio shotgun. Wants to throw, does, and it is caught. Did Gomes get the ball into the end zone? He did. Touchdown,
yes, he
Pirates.
did. Gomes with a phenomenal reach there, caught the ball right at the goal line, had to reach, and he reached right at the pylon, and the Pirates put one in.
The Ohana connection for the Pirates with Lacio to Gomes. Here comes Heidenbone to attempt the extra point. He's 33 of 33 on the year. Matthew Herzog is the holder. Cash Cook the long snapper. Spot is good. Kick is on the way, and it is good. So the Pirates with 1:35 left in quarter number 2 get their first points of the game. It's Chapman 9, Whitworth 7, and both coaches expected an extremely close game, and that's what we're seeing right now.
Yeah, this was bound to be a tight one. Again, two teams have been playing really solid down the stretch, as you talked about the streaks, Bud. These guys come out, and I think, you know, one of the things it's easy to overlook when you're watching a game like this, listening to a game like this, is just the fact that you have so many guys out here that have been put so much time into this season, and for some of them, seniors, this could be it. And so there's a lot of pride going, and there's a lot of emotions and frustration when it doesn't go right, and celebration when it does go well. And you know that there's going to be some seniors that leave today knowing that they're done playing college football. And so I expect these guys to battle all the way to the last minute.
That drive for Whitworth, 11 plays, 71 yards to get the touchdown.
Well, and now you got Chapman looking at it saying, hey, we're all right. We're still up here. We got a 2-point lead. We get the ball back with 1:35, and we don't want to make a mistake. Don't want to turn it over. But if we can go down and get a chance to put points on the board, we know we're getting the ball back after the half because they get the choice in the second half.
Chapman will have 2 timeouts. But as you've alluded, they would prefer to run the ball and probably not going to be able to run it to get into the scoring position. They're going to have to throw it a bit, and they've done that. 7 for 11 is Pacheco for 73 yards.
Well, and they've got Zimmerman, who's tough.
Gaffney's kick is a good high kick, and it will go into the end zone, get him a touchback.
Yeah, so for the Pirates here, I think you got to come out and number one priority is find Mr. Zimmerman and see if we can lock him down.
Well, you got to keep an eye on Andrew Latu, too. Remember the last drive, he had a 22-yard run, backed it up with a 44-yarder.
Yeah, I expect Chapman to be able to run the ball a little bit here still, knowing they got a couple timeouts. You don't have to be throwing the ball every down, and they've had some good success, a couple explosive plays on the ground too.
Each team's run 28 plays so far, 167 yards for Chapman, 126 for the Pirates. Muzzy, the tight end, moves over to the left of the formation on first down. Little swing pass out to Fisher-Huss. Got one block and got planted. That was a big tackle. Gain of 4 perhaps on the play. Clock keeps rolling.
Yeah, really good job. Whitworth defense rallying there, making a tackle. Does a phenomenal job just laying the lumber, if you will. Wyatt Hess just goes, I'm going to show you what I got here in my shoulder, and he planted him.
2nd and 5 from the 30. 1:11, 1:10, clock rolling. Henjum in motion. Low snap, Pacheco drags it out, and again they throw it over to Huss. He's got a blocker, Muzzy, the tight end, but what a play by Knutson, who went around the blocker. Muzzy threw a shadow block, and Knutson said, I'll make the tackle. It's enough for a first down, but it does not give him a ton of yards and uses some time.
Yeah, Pacheco's looking downfield, trying to find Zimmerman. He kind of ran a little dig route there and settled down just inside the safety. But as he realized it was covered up, checks it down. But the Pirates rally up and make a good tackle.
Surprised Chapman hasn't used one of their 2 timeouts yet. They lost about 15 seconds after the play. Another swing pass to Huss, and again he's tackled immediately and inbounds by Trey Rose.
Yep, and there's the timeout. They're going to have to put some time on the clock there. It's still moving. I believe they're going to set this back to about 35 seconds. Clock shows 31.1 right now, but that's not the correct time.
No gain on the play. So Whitworth hangs in there. Remember, I told you earlier, Chapman outscored opponents 105-37 in the second quarter.
Yeah, it's impressive. For some reason, they've had this second quarter magic and trying to get some more right now.
Yeah, that's 9-7 is the second quarter score. All the points scored in quarter number 2 so far. Whitworth has been a pretty good team in the fourth quarter, outscoring opponents 94-65. The third quarter is the only quarter of the season where Chapman has been outscored.
Yeah, and if you're going to pick a quarter that you're going to have, that kind of a strength, you want it to be that fourth quarter, which is where Whitworth's at. But you don't want to get to the point where you're having to depend on a big fourth quarter to win a game.
Right. And honestly, in the fourth quarter numbers too, sometimes those are skewed.
Sure.
If you're in kind of a blowout game where you score extra points. 2nd and 10, Chapman. 35 seconds remaining in the half. Panthers lead it by 2. Henjum and Manzano to the left. Zimmerman's on the right. They're going to hand it to Latu. Latu hit at the line of scrimmage and falls forward. And the Pirates acting as though the ball came loose. I don't think it did, but everybody was diving for a second.
Yeah, I didn't see the ball come loose there either, but they sure reacted like it did. That would be a horrible situation for Chapman. No timeout. They're going to keep it moving.
Final play of the half, most likely. Going to go up the sideline for Zimmerman, who made the catch, but was he inbounds or out? The official's going to give him the catch, so he got the leg down. And there's 9.9 left.
Wow, that was awfully close, but it looks like Zimmerman did tap his toe there. Really good play. That was exactly what Chapman needed. Throw it up to your stud on offense. Let Zimmerman make a play. They're just looking for an opportunity here to get in field goal range.
They've got a timeout left. We were talking about a defensive timeout.
And there it is. Yep, defensive coordinator Mac Shaw. We can hear him in the booth next to us. Yes, I want a timeout. And so they get the timeout called there. They're going to discuss this. Really, when you think about it, Chapman's already missed a 40-yard field goal attempt. Season high's 39 yards there. So trying to think about this, obviously Chapman can take a shot.
Yeah, and no yards gained right now. This would be 54.
Yeah.
So realistically, they need to get about 15 to 20 to make it a decent opportunity for Carson Nichols.
Yeah, and so you got to start thinking about it from Whitworth's perspective of we know that they're going to try to get at least 15, 20 here, but you don't want to give up a touchdown and a big play. I say still, if I'm Chapman, I'm sending Zimmerman deep. I'm going to let everybody chase him, and I'm going to try to dump the ball underneath to another receiver, see if we can pick up our 15, 20 yards and get a timeout.
If Chapman gets a field goal here, it still a one-score game. So bottom line, the Pirates would love to keep it here because a field goal at this stage would give you a lead where an extra field goal by Chapman changes that, obviously. Trips to the left. Pacheco shotgun. Pirates with a 3-man rush, and somebody moved on the line.
Yep, there's the flag. That doesn't help them much. They're going to have to back it up. Really, it doesn't change the scenario that much. Now, instead of needing 15 or 20, you need 20 or 25. But that penalty does hurt.
Pushes the ball back to the 43. 1st and 15. Again, 9.9 seconds remaining. Whitworth goes with the extra DB, 3 defensive linemen. Can they get any pressure and force Pacheco to throw it sooner than he wants to with just 3 guys going? We'll see.
Well, and we finally got our flag that we were looking for there, bud.
Pacheco in the shotgun. Has time. Plenty of time. Wants to throw it deep. Can't. Nobody's open. The ball thrown up in the air, and it's a jump ball. And it is caught and dropped. Boy, I'll tell you what, Zimmerman I thought had it, but unable to hang on to it in the crowd.
Yeah, that was scary for the Pirates there. Chapman almost got a miracle Hail Mary, but Zimmerman just could not carry it in, drops the football.
Had it in his hands at the high point, and somebody or his momentum knocked it away at the last second. 9-7 is our score at the half. Chapman with a 2-point lead over the Whitworth Pirates here at the Pine Bowl in Spokane. You're watching the Division III football playoffs on ESPN+.
Are we just doing commercials for the whole half?
I have no idea.
I don't know what they're doing.
Washington State's playing James Madison tough. What'd you find out?
He said you can just leave it up there and then take it down when you want.
The
You don't have
commercial
anything
break?
around.
We just leave that up there?
He's just like, yeah.
Okay, so let's come back and let's talk about the first half, Matt.
Yeah.
And then I'll give a few scores, and then we'll take a break. We'll just take a break until the start of the third quarter if you want to do that.
Okay. When do you want to do that right now?
Whenever.
Well, that's good.
Now we've got stats, yeah. Yeah.
They are. Just let me know whenever you can do it. And then I have stats. So I can look them up.
Nine 9-7, Chapman on the road has the lead over the Whitworth Pirates at the half of this Division III playoff game. All the folks on D3 football and both coaches, Casey Shine, the interim head coach for Chapman, and I would assume soon to be the regular head coach. He should get appointed after what he's done. He and his staff were named coaches of the year in the SCIAC. Expected this to be a very close game determined by 3 or 4 plays, and that's what we've had through the first half. Other scores in Division III, Muhlenberg defeated Union 34-26. All of these are to advance to the second round. LaGrange defeated Framingham State 24-21. Rod Sandberg's old school, 19th ranked Wheaton, defeated Crown 76-14. Both of Wheaton's losses are to number 1 and number 2 in the nation, so they're pretty darn good.
Yeah, they're tough. They're definitely tough.
One that was going to be a tight game expected, and it was. Hanover defeated Grove City 23-15. 22nd ranked Susquehanna 38-32 over Washington and Jefferson. Springfield knocked off Cortland 21-7, and number 24 ranked Co defeated Concordia, Wisconsin 44-7. Those are the other Division III games. And of course, the winner of this one will end up taking on third ranked UW River Falls. The Falcons are very good. They've got one of the best quarterbacks in the nation. All-American quarterback Caleb Blaha would get it done whether he's running it or passing it, and he does both of them very well.
Yeah, it doesn't matter right now if you're Whitworth or Chapman. You're not looking forward at all. I'm sure some coaches have probably peeked here and there at some film, but just the opportunity to continue to play for these seniors. You get one more week at least, and just the opportunity to find your way in the bracket and keep moving.
Take a look at some of the stats we have for you on your screen. with Chapman leading at 9-7. They have the advantage in total yards. They've got an advantage in both passing and in rushing, and have edged the Pirates first down-wise. 10 for Chapman, 8 for the Pirates. Big one, 2 turnovers by Logan Lassio and the Pirates. They had just 6 all year.
Yeah, the turnovers are tough. You know, that first turnover didn't lead to points, but more than anything, it was momentum. And Chapman feeling like, okay, we're in this thing, we're ready, we got this defense, we know we're tough, and we're going to slow the Pirates down. I also look at these first downs. The Pirates were 4 first downs before that drive that put them down and got them their touchdown. Chapman only gives up 13 first downs a game. Again, one of the best defensive stats in the nation, a top 15 as far as that goes. But the Pirates were able to get 4 more first downs, and all that means is it's momentum, it's leading to points eventually, and Chapman's very stingy defensively, so are the Pirates. So it's been a very good tight first half, and we expect the end of this game to be really tight on the way down.
You pointed out as well that time of possession is a strength for Chapman, averaging a little over 33 minutes a game. They're 11th in the nation, and they're right on schedule for that after the 2 turnovers by Whitworth. The other thing we haven't seen a ton of that I'm wondering if Chapman has held this back or just the way the game has gone, and Pacheco has elected to hand it off or throw it at times. Tyler Pacheco has only rushed it a total of 5 times, and twice those were on sacks. So really 3 times he's elected to run the football and really has not been able to do much. His longest rush has been 2 yards.
Yeah, again, it's the way you decide to defend things is going to ultimately lead to who's getting those yards on the ground. And if you're going to lock that guy up and make sure defenders are keying the quarterback as well, it makes it tougher to get yards with your quarterback on the ground. I also expect that a couple of those scrambles where the ball was thrown, that Pacheco will take off and run. He'll get more yards in the second half, but so far Whitworth's done a really good job of defending him on the ground.
Latu's ripped off 2 big gains, one of 22 and one of 44, total of 89 yards on the ground. Fisher Huss, 5 carries for 22. Huss has caught a couple of passes. In fact, he's been targeted 4 times on screens, caught them all, but gained just a total of 15 yards. Zimmerman, 5 catches on 10 targets for a total of 65. He does have the touchdown catch on that high point reception. It is halftime. It is 9-7 in favor of Chapman. Give you a couple of other football scores from around the nation. Looks like James Madison has taken the football back. The Dukes, who are ranked number 21 in the nation, protecting a 24-20 lead on Washington State. There's 2 minutes and 40 seconds remaining in that football game. So Washington State has gone east 3 times and played nationally ranked teams. Twice has been kind of turned away at the doorstep, and it could be happening once again. Best game on the Division I radar today is 15th ranked USC at number 7 Oregon, being played in Eugene. They're tied at 7, 6 minutes into the first quarter, so each apparently scored on their first drive. Notre Dame pounding Syracuse 35-0. Vanderbilt has a 9-0 lead over Kentucky. Texas, 17th in the nation, leading Arkansas 7-6. 24th ranked Tulane 7-0 over Temple. Maryland with a 7-0 lead over Michigan. That one's very early in the football game. Finals, number 1 Ohio State 42-9 over Rutgers. Number 3 Texas A&M 48-0 over Samford. Number 4 Georgia 35-3 over Charlotte. Now remember, those SEC walkover games in November are going to go away because they're going to add an extra conference game next year. 8th ranked Oklahoma in a tight one defeats number 22 Missouri 17-6, and number 13 Miami over Virginia Tech 34-17. One of the games we've been keeping an eye on just because it's a fun one in our neck of the wood, the Brawl of the Wild. And there were a lot of folks that wanted ESPN's College Game Day to be in Missoula for this one, as the Grizz, who are unbeaten, are taking on Montana State. The Bobcats are 9-2. And talk about a ball game. Montana 21, Montana State 17. Montana State has the ball right now. 5 minutes, 58 seconds remaining in quarter number 3. The Idaho Vandals are playing Idaho State. That's just underway. Later, Eastern Washington closes out its season against its former coach, Paul Wolf, and Cal Poly. That one will tip at 2 o'clock. Updates on other sports for both Chapman and Whitworth. The Pirate men came up with a huge come-from-behind win on the road against a very good Gustavus Adolphus College team on Thursday night. Whitworth was down 13 in the first half, 11 in the second half, and came back and won 62-60 to go to 3-0. And Gustavus Adolphus drops to 2-1. The Pirates are continuing that difficult road trip at St. John's today at 3, so that one should tip about the time this game ends. And by the way, just a note, the Pirate men will play at Chapman on the 18th of December, part of a 3-game road trip to Southern Cal. The women are in Southern Cal right now, got pounded by CMS 85-55 on Thursday to drop to 0-3. They'll play Pomona Pitzer in a game that's to tip off. Well, just did tip off a couple minutes ago. Next home action is on the 14th and 17th of December. The Chapman men's basketball team is 2-1. They're playing an exhibition game against Life Pacific today at 2. Wednesday they host UPS, University of Puget Sound, out of the Northwest Conference. And again, they'll host the Pirates on the 18th of December. The Chapman women are 1-0. They play George Fox out of the Northwest Conference today. And then they'll play an exhibition Monday at Cal Poly. So there's an update on some of the things going on around college football today and for both these teams at the Division III level. It is halftime. Whitworth will be kicking it to Chapman to start quarter number 3. And we're going to have a heck of a football game coming up with 30 minutes of football remaining. 9-7, Chapman with the lead over the Whitworth. It's halftime. You're watching Division III football on ESPN+.
We're going 8 minutes-ish, 7:30.
Yeah, somewhere around there. Both teams returning to the turf here at the Pine Bowl. Chapman leading by 2 points and will be receiving the third quarter kickoff. Chapman making its 5th overall appearance in the NCAA playoffs with a record of 1-4. All of those appearances were under the coach who just retired before the start of this year, Bob Owens, did such a wonderful job at Chapman. Whitworth making its 7th overall appearance, their 5th under Rod Sandberg. 4-6 is the Pirate record. Interesting, the enrollment of these two schools, just under 10,000 at Chapman, 2,419 at Whitworth. And Whitworth to kick it off to start the second half of this football game. Whitworth has trailed just once at the half this year. They're 0-1 when they trail at the half. Told you in the last outing, Chapman trailed at the half and came back and picked up a victory. When they lead at the half, they are 7-1 on the year and protecting just a 2-point advantage in this one. Bud Namick along with Matt Meathy, great to have you with us. We expected a good, tight game, and that has been the case. 2 turnovers by Whitworth in the first quarter, 1 by Chapman. 1 led to the Chapman touchdown. And it's 9-7. Panthers with a 2-point advantage as the Pirates get set to kick. Pirates in their white pants and black tops. Chapman with the black pants and white tops. Kick comes to Manzano at the 1-yard line, and he's going to bring it out, being chased by a couple Pirates and corralled inside the 20 at about the 17-yard line.
Yeah, really good coverage right there for Whitworth. The Pirates don't call this the special teams, it's the special forces. And the special forces went down there and got a good stop on the opening kickoff of the second half here.
At the 16-yard line. So we'll see if Chapman elects to do anything differently in this second half. They ran 34 plays for 204 yards. Tyler Pacheco at quarterback has Andrew Latu and Fisher Hess in the backfield on this first down effort. Out of the shotgun as Pacheco has been all day. Going to roll to his right, hanging onto the football and throwing it out of bounds. Ball was caught by Henjum, but I don't believe he got a foot down. He was out of bounds.
Yeah, he was a couple feet out of bounds there, and a good opening first play for the Pirate defense. No real pressure there, but good coverage and forced that ball to be thrown a little wider than you wanted it to be. And again, Chapman throwing the ball on first down instead of running the ball on first down where they pick up most of their yards. We'll see what happens here on second down.
Pacheco in that shotgun. Now they look over. Fisher Huss, the running back, junior out of Fullerton, California. Manzano and Henjum, the 2 receivers left. Zimmerman, the big target on the right. Here's the little flash out to the tight end. Jackson Muzzy makes the catch. Hayden Throneberry tries to make the tackle, but Muzzy wins that battle and gets the first down.
Yeah, a little RPO there for Chapman. Could have handed the ball off if you liked the number count. Instead, he throws the ball out into the flat there, just on the sideline, picks up a first down.
Got 11 yards, 8th catch of the year for Muzzy out of SI, St. Ignatius in San Francisco. Boy, that is a heck of a league, the WCAL. Sarah, where Tom Brady and a few other guys went to school, and Reardon is very good this year. St. Francis has been very good. Yeah, there's a guy.
Oh.
Yeah. First down, handoff. Fisher Huss keeps his feet, breaks a tackle, and going to be close to a first down. So a couple big plays that have occurred for the Panthers. They've run the ball well, but the Pirates have also missed some tackles.
Well, yeah, and there Fisher Hess right there gets the handoff, starts cruising a little bit. 2 Pirates try to tackle him, but trying to tackle him at his feet. He's a big boy, pretty good athlete, 5'11", 200 pounds, just ran over it and got the first down.
Picked up 9, second and 1, play
9.
calling delight here. Pacheco gives it right back to Huss, who gets that first down and running room. He's up the sideline and gets into Pirate territory. So they found a little something on that rush to the right.
Yeah, running the ball to the right, and Fisher Hess right here having some success. They go with him to start the second half, and this is exactly what Chapman wants. They want to run the ball and impose their will offensively up front in the rushing game.
That's an explosive run play of 14 yards. Again, they're content to use time. 18 still on the play clock. Pacheco, a senior out of Hollister. Luke Jones, a junior, over the ball at center on first down. Little delay on the exchange. Pacheco was going to take his time to determine whether he was going to pull that back or hand it off. Huss ends up picking up a couple.
Yeah, that's just a classical mesh point, if you will, where the quarterback's making his read, deciding do I give it or keep it. Really, the longer you can hold that ball and the running back's stomach and make that decision makes it tougher on the defense.
Yes, it does. 2nd down and 8 after the gain of 2. They're in Pirate territory. Pirates like to move Lane Watkins around on that D-line. They moved him to a DN position on this 2nd down. Shotgun snap, low. Pacheco going to run it and try to get outside and couldn't. No gain on the play. We talked about that at halftime. Would we see more Tyler Pacheco running the ball? And that time it just didn't work. The Pirates have done a pretty good job against him.
Yeah, really good job. And that time, Chapman said, we're not going to run any options here. We're just going to let our quarterback carry the ball. And that time, the Pirates are ready for it. Really, it's one of those tough things for a defense when your quarterback can run the ball, because essentially you have an extra blocker now. Instead of handing it off and really wasting the quarterback being your runner gives you one more guy to help pick up a defender. They just missed one there.
Now it's Latu in the backfield. Each team 4 of 7 on 3rd down in the first half. Little screen pass, and it's incomplete. Went through the hands of the intended receiver, Manzano. It might have been tipped at the line of scrimmage a bit.
Yeah, that ball was deflected. Did a really good job up there up front. The Pirates were looking for it. I believe it was Trey Rose coming off the edge, got his hand up. Got a deflection. He's getting some high fives there as he jogs off the sideline.
This will be the first punt of the day by Chapman and Carson Nichols. Averaged 37 yards a kick. He was a second-team SCIAC performer as a kicker and punter. Hayden Throneberry's the return man for the Pirates. Right now, heels on the Pirate 13. No big pressure. The kick is away. Throneberry calls fair catch, retreats back to the 10 to make it. So the defense does its job for Whitworth, and now the offense, which struggled with some turnovers. We'll see what they can do.
Yeah, interesting there just to watch that punt. First time we've seen Chapman punt the ball, but that ball that was snapped, kind of a low, wobbly snap. Not much speed on that snap. It looked a little weak, if you can call it that. And I'm sure the Pirates also saw that. Might see some pressure next time there's a punt situation.
Robert Kroll, backup defensive back, is the long snapper. First down, Pirates. Out of the shotgun, the handoff Solano, trying for a little running room. And again, a good push by that line. A good 5-7 yard gain on first down.
Yeah, I like that. Keep feeding Solano. Give him the ball. Looking at his first half, 10 carries for 58 yards. He had that long of 25, but he's averaging 5.8. Got just about 5.8 on that carry.
Again, Pirates playing without their outstanding running back, Luis Salgado, an ankle injury, unable to go. He warmed up, tried to go, and said just isn't strong enough to go. He was very close to a 1,000-yard season for his 3rd straight. Needed just 28 yards. Will he get a chance next week? Pirates will have to come from behind to do so. Snap to Lacio. Quick screen pass out. Caught by Dietz. Cuts it back. First down. Out of bounds.
That's a really good job by the Pirates, and as impressive as the catch and throw were, it was the blocking on the edge that really solidified that play. Pirates did a really good job of locking up, making sure they're running their feet, and good first down play for the Pirates.
He had an escort out there. Trips to the left, ball's on the right hash. Pirates have yet to go tempo. Would you like to see that?
Well, when they line up on the football here that quickly, they have the opportunity to. I would like to see at some point for them just to rack off 5-6 plays in a row.
First down, Lacio pass. Dietz again, the receiver, at the 36-yard line, so a pretty good first down game.
Well, and I like the choice here for Whitworth in the passing game is let's get the ball out quick. Let's get some automatic, simple throws and not try to have to make reads back there. You got to get Lacio going a little bit, and that's the right way to do it.
Both Sieben and Zimmerman up on the line of scrimmage now. In essence, a 5-man front, at least that look for Chapman. But yet they'll drop guys off the end and bring guys in the middle. They love to change things around. Trips to the right, 2nd and 2 Pirates. Do they take a shot downfield here? Lacio rolling, dumps it off, and it is caught. Dietz, that's a first down.
Yeah, and again, we see the Pirates in the passing game get Lacio out there and run in. Instead of sitting back in the pocket and seeing what kind of pressure they're going to get, they're just taking off and getting to an edge, and that time gave them the opportunity to pick up a first down.
Ball out to the Pirate 41. We're 5 minutes into quarter number 3. Chapman up 9-7. We're trying to change that. Everybody in tight to the formation here. Solano in the backfield on first down. Lacio, here comes pressure, steps up, throws it for Dietz again, who makes the catch at the 40. Dietz went up high, being covered by that outstanding safety, Jacob Gowdy. But Dietz wins the battle.
You can't say enough right there about the Pirate offensive line on that play. There's been quite a bit of pressure. We've seen the 2 turnovers. That time, Logan Lacio had all day to throw the ball, did a good job getting the ball downfield to the right spot, not in any kind of pressure.
4 straight plays, completion from Lacio to Dietz. 53 yards all told on those 4 plays. 6th play of the drive coming up, first down in Chapman territory at the 40. Play fake to Solano over the middle, open. It's that man Dietz, and he tripped. It was going to be a foot race, and he's so frustrated.
Yeah, slams the ball down right there at the 20-yard line. Really good job, little RPO there. Saw Dietz cut across the middle, hit him in stride, and I'd say the grass caught his foot, but it's the turf this time.
Jim Walden would say he was a victim of his own tackleization. Back-to-back 19-yard completions from Lacio to Dietz. Pirates on the move, trying to regain the lead, or actually take the lead for the first time. Trips to the left. Solano, the running back, to the left. See if they mix it up and go to the ground. No. Lacio wants to throw. Does. Has a man again. And a great catch by Dietz. The ball was thrown the opposite side than he was looking, but he made the catch and brought down.
Wow, this has turned into the Dietz series, if you will. That was a phenomenal catch. Ball thrown slightly behind him, reached up with one hand, picked it up. As he got tackled, his jersey popped over his shoulder there. Just had a teammate pull it down for him.
2nd and 3 after the gain of 7. And Dietz in the slot with Tobeck and Matthews, the receivers on the right. So something the Pirates saw at halftime that they made an adjustment. Jimmy Surf, the offensive coordinator in his first year. 2nd and 3, they're in the red zone. Lacio going to run it. Cuts it back and dives and should have the first down.
You know, I like that. They're running to the left side, trying to pick up some yards there. On the left side, you got a couple of studs. Both guys have a really good opportunity. We'll find out Monday in the Northwest Conference who those all-league players are, but that left side of the offensive line has been really good all year.
That'd be Jason Akahivita and Isaiah Sittower, along with the center, Caleb Cabrera. Evan Gaylord, freshman on the right. Jacob Peck, the right tackle, starting's out. Connor Johnson playing in that spot. 1st and goal, Pirates are at the 9. They're down by 2 points, but driving. Lacio shotgun, handoff, Solano cut it back, and not going to get much. I think he had a chance if he kept going to the right side.
Yeah, he's done a good job today of making kind of one cut and getting vertical. That time he just made a cut a little too early.
Well, spot him at the 8, give him a yard.
Really, the Pirates, when they're trying to run the ball there, it's look up, find Zimmerman, run away from him, and then ideally Zimmerman's lined up on the right side so you can run behind those couple of hosses on the left.
And a reminder, it's not the same Zimmerman catching passes, they're brothers. 10th play of the drive coming up for the Pirates.
I'm sure if you asked them, both could say they could do the other guy's
I'm
job
sure they
just
could,
as well.
They figured the same, you're right. Matthews in motion through the formation. They wanted to throw to him. They do. He makes the catch and is tackled immediately. That's a nice play on the corner by Caleb Padrid. And it's going to set up 3rd down for the Pirates.
Yeah, Padrid made a really good play there. And really what happened there is Lacio just got that ball out a little too late. You get the ball in his hands earlier, and you want that ball thrown real quickly on that crossing route. Get the ball out earlier, then the receiver has a chance there to make a play and kind of maybe juke that defender or run him over, but because he caught it and was tackled right when the ball hit his hands, became a problem.
Timeout called by Chapman. 5:41 to go, 3rd quarter. Pirates facing a 3rd and goal from the 7. They trail 9-7 with 5:41 to go. Pirates, of course, would love to find a way to dump it into the end zone here, but if not, they're extremely comfortable with sending Iden Bone out there to try to turn a 2-point deficit into a 1-point lead.
Yeah, Iden Bone's been really the best kicker in the conference all year. I'd be shocked if he wasn't the first-team kicker come Monday. And they're really happy with him kicking the ball here if they need to. They would do it in a heartbeat. Even if it's a 4th and 1, I think they're going to try to get the lead. And it's almost a sure thing from this distance for Iden. In that situation, though, you also got to come up with a play right here when you go, hey, we're 3rd and goal from the 7. Where are we getting the ball? Dietz has been hot this series. Wouldn't be surprised to see Dietz finding a ball in his hand somehow.
Lacio is 7 for 7 on this drive. with 6 straight completions to Deacon Dietz. 3rd and goal from the 6 for the Pirates. Now the 7 officially the spot. Solano in the backfield. Dietz in the slot of Matthews to the left. Peterson is the H-back on the right with Taylor Wells, the tight end, there as well. Wells is the biggest target if they're trying to throw a high point type ball, but they don't really have a receiver who's done a great job of that this year. Gomes, who caught the first touchdown pass, is not in there right now. Pirates still trying to change the formation, and they get Solano over to the left. And Lacio wants to throw that way because pressure, and he's going to try to tuck it and run it, and he's inside the 5, going to get it about to the 2-yard line. Sieben able to make that stop along with Andrew Buck.
Yeah, Lacio took off to his right there and was looking for somebody, but all the receivers were sitting over there on the left side, and here comes Iden Bone to try to take the lead for the Pirates.
Well, I think as much as you'd like to try to punch it in, you got to take the points if you can get them.
Yeah, the score dictates this call. Maybe if it's 4th and inches and you got a tush push or something that you love, but other than that, you got to get points here.
Bone trying for a school record if he connects on this one. Snap, spot, kick is on the way, and it is good. So Whitworth has their first lead of the day. It is Whitworth 10, Chapman 9, 5:14 to go, 3rd quarter. You're watching Division III football playoffs on ESPN+.
Oh, my throat. Got to keep talking, Matt.
12 plays,
Good drive.
87 yards.
Oh, Montana State took the lead.
Oh, good. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
(10-9) Whitworth with the lead. Relief pitchers have given up some runs in this one, but we're only in the bottom of the 7th, so there's still plenty of time to go.
We still got some time.
Pirates up to 212 yards of offense now, 240 for Chapman. Gaffney to kick off, had a touchback in the first half on the kick. Puts this one high, end over end. Manzano will make the catch at the 2 and try to bring it out. Had a little running room initially, finds a seam and then got planted by a couple of Pirates before he could get to the 25.
Yeah, it's something to you can't overlook this. You know, when you get to the NCAA tournament, you only get so many bodies on the sideline.
58.
Yeah, 58 in uniform. And there's some guys that have gotten some special teams reps here and there that just don't make that 58 cut. And when that happens, you get a couple other guys that you got to put in on your kickoff team or your punt return. And when doing so, you want to make sure that they've gotten enough reps. And right there, the Pirates look like they did.
First down handoff, Fisher Huss will try the middle and get pushed back at about the 26. Gain of about 3 on that first down carry.
Tackled by Hunter Latier. Drew Brody.
Pretty much know what Chapman wants to do here.
Well, yeah, they want to eat as much clock as they can. Again, a specialty for the Chapman Panthers. Keep the ball moving, run the ball well, pick up 3 or 4 at a time, and then when you need it, find Zimmerman. And the Pirates have done a good job of staying stiff defensively and keeping those gains short.
2nd and 7 after the gain of 3. Handoff again. Huss running room, and boy, it was a shoestring tackle away from taking it all the way if Trey Rose didn't get just enough of that shoe.
Yeah, really, Trey Rose was there, and behind him was a lot of turf. So a really good tackle made there. Still enough for a first down for Chapman.
Out to the 35, so a 9-yard gain. First down at the 35 of Chapman. Clock running. 4 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. Whitworth 10, Chapman 9 is our score. Luke Jones over the ball, junior at center. On either side of him is a first-team All-SCIAC performer, Gavin Scott on the left, Teddy Butner on the right. 2nd straight year, Scott has been first-team All-League. Snap, handoff, running play. And Lane Watkins tackling Huss, but Huss able to win that battle by driving the legs forward and picking up a few extra yards after contact. Out to the 39, so gain of 4.
Haven't had Zimmerman's name called in a while here. Again, definitely Pacheco's favorite target. Looking at right here on the bottom of the field nearest us here, he's lined up again over Omari Williams, two of the best players on the field out there. Pacheco definitely has, Zimmerman has the size advantage though.
Yes, he does. Second down, long 6, snap. Pacheco throws and into traffic, but gets a catch and has a first down. Manzano made the catch. Trey Rose was right there. Hunter Latier was there as well. That's just a good catch.
Yeah, you saw Latier signaling incomplete. The officials disagree with him, call it a catch there. Right at the ground, though. Really good catch.
Picked up 7. 5th play of the drive coming up for the Panthers. They find themselves down for the first time today by a single penny. 2.5 minutes to go, third quarter. Possessions are precious because you're not going to get a ton of them the way this game is going. 1st and 10 Panthers. They're at their own 46. Started this drive on their 23. Play clock went down, but I haven't seen a flag. Somebody get a timeout? Nope, it is a delay. Just the second penalty of the day, both against Chapman.
Yeah, it's kind of a mirror. Both teams here hurry to the ball, line up, look like they're going to snap it, and then stop and look at their sideline. That time, Chapman took a little bit too long looking at the sideline.
Could you see what they saw in the Pirate defense that maybe caused that consternation?
I don't think it was anything different there. It was just an indecision moment and cost him 5 yards.
1st and 15, snap, handoff. Huss not going to get much. Good job that time submarining things by Lane Watkins for the Pirates, the senior out of Snohomish.
Yeah, and one of the things you saw there is just the ball was snapped a little low.
Yep.
And so when Pacheco gets that snap low like that, it just slows everything down. And now that mesh point, as we talked about earlier, it's not as clean, and it looks like just a regular handoff there. In doing so, the Pirates are able to kind of see that coming the whole time.
All right, the big play guy, Andrew Latu's in the backfield now. Muzzy, the tight end, shifts to the left of the formation on second down. Pacheco wants a screen, got it to Manzano, makes the catch, and his tackle. It's going to be 3rd and about 8 to go for the Panthers.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Anytime you're backed up behind the chains and you get 2nd and long, 3rd and long, every coach on the sidelines always screens, draws. They're waiting for it. They see the screen there but didn't pick up a lot, brings up a long 3rd down.
3rd and 9 now. Chapman is 4 of 8 on 3rd down. They're 0 for 1 in this half. Crowd trying to make some noise for the Pirates here. 3rd and 9. Ball right in the middle of the field. Pirates show blitz, perhaps. Let's see if they come. Back off, 4-base rush. Pacheco wants to throw, throws the out. The ball's caught by Muzzy, the tight end. He runs towards the first down marker. The spot is going to be a little bit short.
Yeah, just made the tackle there right before the sticks, brings up a 4th down. Again, this will be an interesting decision. It's been a field position game the whole game.
They need less than a yard. They're going for it.
Yeah, you have to, I think, here.
Pirates bring in Trevor Gravel at linebacker, and Luke Jacobson comes in on that D-line. To'o Malatai will come in as well to give the Pirates an extra defensive lineman. He's more of a pass rush guy, though. They must not have had the right personnel. They're going to wait. That's the end of the third quarter. So the Pirates have just one possession in the third quarter. They turn it into 3 points and grab the lead at 10-9. But a huge play coming up, 4th and the length of the football for Chapman. When we start the fourth quarter, you're watching the Division III football playoffs on ESPN+.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Huge play coming up to start the fourth quarter. 4th and a half a yard, length of the football. Panthers come up quickly. They stay in the shotgun. Pirates bunch at the line. Latu, Pacheco, first down.
Yeah, it kind of looked like a read there. It really wasn't. Pacheco's taking that the whole way. Gets right over his big left guard there. Picks up the first down.
So a fresh set of downs at the 43-yard line. 9th play of the drive coming up. Ryan Borchers returns to the linebacking core for Whitworth. He's the Pirate linebacker. 2 receivers left. Again, everybody tight to the formation. Hand off the play fake to Latu. Here's pressure. Pacheco steps away, throws the football as a flag comes down. Looks like we're going to have a hold called against the Panthers.
Yeah, obvious hold there. Pirate defensive coaching box sitting right next to us was yelling hold before I even saw it. But yeah, real easy hold there. It's going to back him up. And like we said earlier, not a lot of penalties in this game. That's a costly one.
Has not been a penalty on Whitworth yet. That's the 3rd on Chapman and the first 15-yard penalty. That's a 10-yarder actually on the hold. Backup tight end Nate Krautwald leaves, and Cade Zimmerman, who was getting a breather, comes in. Zimmerman came in this game with 49 catches, 723 yards, both leading the team, 8 touchdowns, and he caught the TD earlier. 1st and 20 from their own 47 now for Pacheco and the Panthers. Pirates bounce around. They're going to try to get a little on the ground, and they're not going to get much of it. The Pirates do a good job of smothering that. That was big Nate Hummel, who was able to make the stop for the Pirates.
Yeah, Latu right there ended up falling forward to pick up a couple, but big stop for the Pirates, and that's what you need in the fourth quarter. You got to wrap up, you got to tackle well, brings up a 2nd and long, and again, Zimmerman flips to the other side of the field. Omari does not this time, so we got a new matchup for Zimmerman.
Knutson will work on him, the senior out of Eastlake High School in Sammamish. Also going to that side is Cash Henjum now. Pacheco, little pressure. Going to run it himself, then throws it. And what a great catch by Zimmerman, and that's a first down. That was a fantastic grab by Cade Zimmerman.
Yeah, Zimmerman, because of the motion, ends up in the slot there. As he did that, he ran right to the middle of the field, sat down at the 1st-yard marker. As we got some scrambling there, he just scoots to his right a little bit and catches the ball for a big, big first down.
17-yard gain. First down at the 30 of Whitworth. 13 minutes to go in the game. Pirates lead by 1. Pacheco wants a throw. First down. Zimmerman catch. Tackled immediately, but a good first down gain.
Yeah, it's just a tough situation there when Zimmerman's attacking downfield. That time he just runs a little 8-yard hitch, gets an easy catch for him, and get him involved in the offense here, and Chapman's rolling.
7 catches on the day for Zimmerman now. Here's a handoff to Latu, was going nowhere in the backfield and did a very good job to keep going and ends up getting the first down.
Yeah, that's a really good run from Andrew Latu. Looked like he was going to be stopped at the line of scrimmage. Keeps his feet moving and trucking, picks up a first down.
Panthers on the move, trying to regain the lead with 12 minutes left to go in this football game. Again, they're going to do anything they can to shorten things. Ball on the left hash, 2 receivers to the right and a H-back on the right on first down. Pirates show blitz. Late handoff to Latu. He fumbled the football. I think he fell on it, though.
Yeah, that ball bounced right back up into his hands. A lucky bounce for Chapman. Whitworth thought they had a chance there. Again, didn't pick up a lot of yards, but did keep the ball in their possession.
Latu, a junior out of Redwood City, California, in the Bay Area, Sacred Heart Prep. 9 touchdowns on the year, and he's had a big afternoon here. 10 carries for 95 yards. Make it 11 for 95 after that one. 2nd and 10. Little low snap again. Pacheco rolling to the right. Throws into the end zone. Has a man open. It is picked off and dropped.
Oh, boy. the Pirates had an opportunity there for interception. That ball was caught and then dropped and then almost caught again. It's an incompletion, but it brings up a third down.
Boy, we'll see if that becomes a factor.
Boy, that was close.
Chance for points for Chapman still when Whitworth looked like they had the ball. Knutson got his hands on it and was falling to the turf and then couldn't hang on.
Yeah, Chapman right now, you cannot take a sack. You don't want to be backing up and making this a long field goal attempt. If you can't pick up a first down, you at least don't want to lose yards.
For my money, they run it here. Let's see what they do. Pacheco's going to throw. Here comes some pressure. And he's got a man, but he threw it too tall. Manzano kind of stumbled out of his cut and ends up with the incomplete pass. And this makes it a 37-yard attempt, which is doable for Carson Nichols, but it's not necessarily in the extreme comfort zone.
No, his season long's 39 yards, and we saw him miss a 40-yard kick. This will be a 37-yard from the left hash.
Coming into today, he was 6 of 7 from this distance on the year, but he had the miss from 40.
No wind at all. The flags are standing still.
Pirates have blocked 8 kicks on the year, including 3 field goal tries. Miata's the holder. Snap is good. There's the kick. It's on the way, and it just got over the hands of the Pirates, and it's good. So the field goal pushes Chapman back into the lead. 11:08 to go in the game. It's 12-10 Chapman. You're watching NCAA Division III football on ESPN+. Yep.
Here's some more scores.
Yeah, big play.
Oregon versus USC is tied at 14 with 10:14 left in the second quarter. Idaho State leads Idaho to the 0.
16 plays.
Needs a little more stick 'em on
And
those
Montana
gloves.
State leading Montana by 3, 31-28.
128.
Play number 1 for Whitworth is Glenn Benjamin.
.11:08 to go in the game. Chapman has seesawed back out in front, 12-10 over the Whitworth Pirates, who now will have to see if they can get something going offensively. Remember, Whitworth in the third quarter had just the one drive, started at their own 10, ended at the 3 of Chapman, and resulted in a field goal that gave them a 10-9 lead at that point. But then Chapman able to drive back down. The Pirates looked like they had the interception into the end zone, but Knutson couldn't hang on, and that turned into 3 points for Chapman.
Yeah, and each one of these drives turns into really, really important series because Whitworth can see that they're not getting many opportunities with the ball in their hands. Only one drive so far in the second half.
Nichols' kick will drive Chase Gomes to the 3-yard line. He's going to try to take it to the right side and stretch things out, and got hit just past the 20 as a flag flies in a spot where you'd expect an illegal block on the Pirates.
Which would be the first penalty on the Pirates.
Yes, it is. It's a hold. If you're Whitworth, you actually, I think, have to look at this. Even though there's 11:01 left in this game, you almost have to look at this as though this is going to be your final drive of the day.
Yeah, we've seen Chapman, like they've done all year, be able to control the clock and keep the ball in possession. So you give this one up, if you take 3-4 minutes off the clock here and don't score, you kick it off knowing you might not get it back.
Chapman's only allowed 21 fourth-quarter points this year. 1st and 10 from their own 12. Pirates hand it to Solano, trying for a little bit of running room, and broke a tackle and got to the 16.
Yeah, and there's no panic as far as the offensive play call here. You don't have to take any big shots. You can march this thing down. Your defense has been playing well, but you need to get some points here if at all possible.
Solano now 13 carries, 69 yards in relief of Luis Salgado, the outstanding running back for the Pirates, unable to play today. Trips to the right on 2nd and 6. Pirates have used a lot of 12 formation with 2 tight ends, going with just 1 this time. Here's Solano trying to get through a seam and can't. That ball defended very well that time by the interior defensively for Chapman. Andrew Buck there, Kyle Sieben there.
Yeah, just picks up a yard, makes it a complicated third down play here. And I really like the idea of some automatics again. Logan has done a good job there behind in the second half, the one drive he had. But you've got to make it to where it's an easy read, get the ball out quick. You don't want him having to wait back there and checking things out.
3rd and 4. Here comes pressure. Gets rid of the ball up the sideline, and it's thrown too tall for his intended receiver. That was Chase Gomes, and very good coverage on the play by Sawyer Hughes.
Yeah, I don't love the play there, trying to throw the ball deep and get a big shot. Again, you're kicking the ball off now with 9:41, and you got your 3 timeouts, so you have a chance to stop them, but Chapman should get pretty good field position.
Yes. Which will, even if the Pirates make a quick 3 and out and a punt, the Pirates won't have very good field position again. See if Chapman comes with pressure. Snap to Herzog, gets it away. Shorter kick. Manzano fields it at the 44, got a block, and got to midfield, stayed in bounds, and got down to about the Pirate 42-yard line. And he got a late, is there going to be a flag? I thought there might be. We had a little extracurricular activity.
Yeah, I think that's the 3rd time we've seen a Chapman player hit the turf after the play's been done, a long ways away from the ball, and then throw his hands in the air looking for a flag, and a 3rd time that we haven't seen one.
Yeah, Colin Campbell, the Pirate linebacker, with a little push, but the officials saying, hey, it's postseason, we're going to not call it on you right now. Now the burden is certainly on the Pirate defense. Long drive for a field goal for Chapman last time out. Pirates need to make a stop quickly here or create a turnover. They're going to go Wildcat. Huss is in the backfield to get the snap, and he fumbles it. The ball's loose. Huss picks it up, and he's going to be stay away from a couple would-be tackles and finally brought down. That was Hayden Throneberry finally able to get Huss, so the Wildcat doesn't work.
No, and I don't understand that. I know they've run the Wildcat before. It's not like this is the first time in the season they've tried it. But in that situation right there, just stick with what's worked. Keep your offense intact the way you have. Let Pacheco and Hess, let those guys get after it. Instead, you're going to do something weird and different that you're not normally doing.
It's a 10-yard loss, 2nd down and 20. Pacheco shotgun. Reverse. Manzano trying to cut it, and the Pirates defended it this time. Gain of 2 for Manzano. It's 3rd and forever, and the Pirate defense with an opportunity. Let's see if they can get off the field.
Yeah, we saw in the first half they ran that little reverse and picked up some good yards on a 3rd down. That time, they tried it. The Pirates sniffed it out and knew it was coming.
Spencer Derry comes in on that D line, the sophomore out of Mount Spokane High School for the Pirates, who will go with just the 3-man rush. Hummel's out there. Watkins is out there. Extra linebacker. Coverage man, extra safety actually, and they're on 3rd down and 19. Snap to Pacheco. Steps up under some pressure and spun, and he's going to be eventually tackled by the Pirates. That'll be a gain of a couple.
Really good job for the Pirate defense there. Finally winding down there. Lane Watkins gets the tackle.
Got to the Pirate 47, so a gain of 4. And now Whitworth will get the ball back, but again, tough field position. Nichols ready to punt it away. One kick on the day for 36 yards.
Let's see the snap. Low, it bounced.
And the Pirates unable to get a foot on it. And there's the penalty. Oh, my goodness. The ball bouncing inside the 10. Whitworth took a dive at Nichols after he fielded the punt on the bounce and bobbled it and got the kick away without anybody touching the football and then ran into him. It's not going to be running into. It's going to be roughing, and it's going to be a 1st down.
Boy, that's tough. When you see the ball hit the ground as a defender, you're trying to get your hands on it. You want to make a block as much as you can, but running into the kicker there, roughing him a little bit.
Boy, this is interesting.
Yeah.
They're going to decline the penalty. because the ball's down at the 5. Wow.
Wow.
Running into the kicker. Defense. That penalty declined.
I thought for sure it'd be roughing
Yeah.
because
So
of the
that's
way Nichols went down.
That's the difference there.
It's
The
running.
running into the kicker wouldn't have picked up a first down. And so declines it, and that way they can keep the ball down there on the 5-yard line. But, hey, Whitworth, you just dodged a bullet. You could have had roughing the kicker there, which would have given Chapman a first down. Instead, it's a running into the kicker, and you do have the ball. It is only at the 5-yard line, but right now you're talking to these guys on the sideline saying, gentlemen, we need a drive. Your season's on the line. You got 7 minutes and 20 seconds left in the game. We got to get down the field and get some points here.
I think the Pirates are fortunate. I thought that was roughing the kicker, not running into him.
I agree.
Here's a handoff to Solano, trying to find a little bit of room, and does. Gets about 7 on that first down rush.
Really good first down run there. You're backed up on the 5-yard line. You just need to get some breathing room and try to get a little momentum here. Pirates had the one drive there in the third quarter where we started seeing it finally kind of click, like they've done so many times this year, and haven't had that same rhythm except for that one drive.
Gain of 6 on first down. Lacio going to roll and throws it out the sideline. Wide open, Tobeck makes the catch. Good reaction by the Panthers to smother him, but it's a first down, Pirates.
And again, another successful play with getting Lacio out of the pocket and letting him throw on the run.
Picked up 8, first and 10 from the 20 for Whitworth. Clock moving, 6:25 to go in the game. Chapman 12, Whitworth 10. Chapman's won 8 in a row. Pirates have won 7 in a row. River Falls waiting in Wisconsin for the winner of this one. Trips to the right for Whitworth with the ball on the left hash. Again, Luis Salgado not suited up for today's game, the top running back for the Pirates. Hand off to his understudy, Solano. Solano dances forward and gets to the 26-yard line.
Really good run. Again, he's been getting 5-6 yards a carry. Solano does just that, picks up 6 on that handoff, brings up a 2nd down and 4.
Whitworth has 3 timeouts remaining, but the clock's starting to be a factor. This is the drive. If Whitworth doesn't get points here, Chapman appears to be in great shape. Trips to the right for the Pirates on 2nd and 4 from their own 26. Again, rolling Lacio this time. He's under a little pressure and gets rid of it. It's tipped incomplete. And a
You got
flag.
Yeah. Solano there trying to block on the edge. Just got a hold there. It's going to back him up.
Stops the clock at 5:24.
24. With a 10-yard penalty. Repeat, 2nd down.
Ball will be marched back to the 16-yard line. 2nd and 14 coming up. Second penalty against Whitworth. 5:24 to go. Pirates need 14 yards to keep this drive alive, perhaps keep their season alive. 2 receivers right, 1 left, as Lacio looks over the defense. Base rush, dumps it off screen, caught by Solano, and not going to get a lot. Chapman reacted very well. It's going to be 3rd down and about 5 or 6.
Some
Motion's
extra-
running high.
Yeah, some extra pushing and shoving there after the play. I like that with the trips to the right side, sliding Solano out to the left. Pirates had a couple of blockers out there, but Chapman defensive line did a really good job of retracing their steps and getting in there and making a play. Brings up a 3rd down and 8. 3rd and 7. I
Maybe
guess,
2 down
officially.
territory here. Clock running, 4:45 to go in the game. Chapman leads it by 2. Winner advances. Loser sees their season come to an end. Does Chapman come with the blitz? Here they come with a linebacker late. It's Kelton Jones. Ball away, caught by Tobeck and dropped. Never made a football move after it looked like he had possession. Now does Whitworth. I think they got to go for it here, to be honest with you.
Yeah, Coach Sandberg's down there talking to his staff, trying to figure it out.
Well, looks like the offense is coming to the sideline. They're going to kick it. They're going to bank on the fact with their 3 timeouts left that they can make a stop. But, boy, I'll tell you what.
Chapman's in a great spot here. You got the lead. You get the ball back. and it's going to be decent field position.
4th and 7. Herzog to punt it away. No pressure, gets it away. Good driving kick, drives Manzano back, and he catches it at the 31. Gets one block, finds a little bit of room, still on his feet, and brought down at about the 42-43. Pirates needed one of those AstroTurf punts that hit the ground and just kept going, but Manzano wasn't going to let that happen.
Yeah, Manzano did a really good job. Looked like a center fielder there. Turned his shoulders, got back, made the catch, but then after doing so, was able to get some yards there on the return.
So 4:18 to go in the game. If you're Whitworth and you make a stop on first down, do you use one of those timeouts right away?
You don't have to yet. You still have the 2 minute. You don't have to use a timeout yet, but it depends on the play too. If it's a first down play that picks up 4, you might want to wait.
First down, Chapman. They're going to run the football and use time, leading by 2. Latu's in the backfield. Pacheco keeps it. Actually, that was Huss in the shot in the Wildcat, and Huss keeping the feet going with the offensive line finally brought down at the 49.
Yeah, you could see right there once he got stopped right at the line of scrimmage, that was just a little bit of grit, and a lot of big boys help pushing him and keeping the feet moving, and they're going to let this clock go down 25 seconds before they snap it. And
Pacheco
yeah,
is near the sideline. See if he stays as a wide receiver.
Yeah, and with a 6-yard carry there, the Pirates aren't going to use a timeout yet, knowing that the likelihood of a first down is coming.
So they'll snap it to Huss. Huss kind of caught the wide snap, but he's going to be close to the first down and probably get it with that little extra push.
All right, just short. So we're 3rd and 1. They still have saved their timeouts. We're going to be just under 3 minutes here on the next snap. Big play here for the Pirates. So if you get a stop now, you're sure that you're going to see one of those timeouts come.
And they're going to stay with that Wildcat look.
Interesting play there. As much as it was trying to pick up a first down, the actual catch of the snap was more impressive because that was wide right.
3rd and a yard, snap to Huss. Outside, he's got the first down, still on his feet, trying to get to the sideline, being chased by the Pirates and chased out of bounds, and that's a big conversion by Chapman.
Yeah, really good job right there. Picks up the first down, a really big first down. He did go out of bounds, though, to stop the clock, but now the clock is moving.
Gain of 14.
So they must have said his momentum had stopped, and he went backwards at some point there.
Now, once they got the first down, they'll reset the ball for play and wind the clock. Allows Chapman to use more time. I think they're going to just go down and use a timeout here because it's down to 5 on the play clock. They'll use their second timeout here. And then they'll run one play and have the 2-minute timeout. And then Whitworth will have to use a timeout. Chapman 12, Whitworth 10 with 2:13 to go in the football game. 2 first-quarter turnovers by the Pirates stop them from having any chance for a little momentum.
In the second quarter, Cal Poly 7, Eastern Washington 0.
Hunter Latier had an interception for the Pirates, but they weren't able to turn it into any points. Chapman got the interception, turned it into a touchdown. They missed the 2-point conversion try. They were up 6-0. They added a field goal to make it 9-0. Pirates scored a touchdown late in the second quarter to make it 9-7. Took a lead on their only possession of the third quarter, 10-9 on a field goal by Iden Bone. But Chapman's defense in the fourth quarter, the Pirates have had 2 possessions. They went 3 and out, and then on the second one, they ended up, in essence, a 3 and out. Picked up 1 first down, but then a hold. So Chapman's defense, really, you have to give them credit in this fourth quarter.
Yeah, both defenses have played well, but Chapman stood out, and the Pirates just haven't had any kind of rhythm at all. Not being able to move the ball except the one real good drive there in the third quarter, but this second half, Chapman's defense has played like they want to move on and go to Wisconsin next week.
It's Huss at the quarterback spot. Going to keep it himself, running behind the block of Latu. He's hit and spun down immediately by the Pirates. Tackle is made by Wyatt Hess, who came up. And now we'll have the 2-minute break.
2 minutes to decide who's going to move on in the bracket here.
2-minute timeout.
Pickup of a yard for Huss. 2nd and 9. Technically, the ball statistically at the 33 of Whitworth. So now 2nd and 9. Chapman will run a play. If Whitworth is able to prevent the first down, they'll take a timeout. They have 3 remaining. If they're able to stop the 3rd down play, they take a timeout. And then I'm guessing it's 4-down territory for Chapman.
Yeah, it just depends on where they end up. And the idea of trying to kick a long field goal, you already had a miss from 40 yards out. And so if they can get within a 3-4 yard range, I think they do go for it on 4th down, knowing that your defense has played pretty well all game anyway, that if you're trying to get a stop on a drive starting at the 27-yard line, you feel pretty good about that. That being said, if you think there's a possibility at getting 3 points, depending on the range, it would take them out of field goal range to win it, and the Pirates would have to score a touchdown.
So Pacheco's not on the field at all, or is he? Yes, he is,
Yeah,
as a
he's
wide
wide.
receiver far to the left. Fisher Huss in the Wildcat with Latu in the backfield behind him. And he's going to take it straight up the middle and can't break a tackle. He'll be brought down by Thornberry at the 30. So now the Pirates call timeout.
That's a really, really big tackle there. Thornberry does a really good job wrapping up, making sure that solidifies that tackle to stop the clock, the timeout. If he gets by him, I think he's scoring, but he definitely gets a first down.
Well, here's the play of the game right here. 3rd and 7. It's the play of the game until if the Pirates make a stop, Chapman goes for it
Yeah,
again.
then there'll be several plays of the game.
A minute
still,
52 left. Whitworth has taken their first timeout. Everyone expected a tight ball game, and that's certainly what we have.
Yeah, this has been a dandy. If you like, playoff football and 2 tough-nosed teams and defenses playing lights out, that's exactly what we've had.
How much work's going on the Pirate sideline offensively in terms of you can't really script a play, but you can script what you want to run ideally?
Yeah, and a lot of times you're going to go back at your call sheet and just check down plays that have looked good. Not necessarily things that, we had a great, phenomenal catch, but what were things that opened up and worked well for us? Let's get back to things that work well.
Huss in the Wildcat on 3rd and 7. Jones over the football. There's the snap. Huss going to run it left side, cut it back, and dives forward, but not enough for the first down. Pirates call timeout.
Yeah, picked up a few yards there. Now it's decision time. This is exactly what we were talking about is, do you try to kick a long field goal? Probably not. It'd be more of a 45-yard attempt. You're not going to punt it here, I don't think.
No.
So I think this is going to be now the play of the game.
Yeah, you run for it.
You go for it. You go for it and say, boys, we get this. We win the game. We got 4 yards to go.
Do you put Pacheco back in at quarterback
Yes.
for the threat of the throw?
You have to, I think. If Hess is there, unless he's had any kind of play action or attempt to throw that ball before, I think you have to have Pacheco back there just so the Pirates know this is more than likely going to be a choice play versus an automatic run.
Huss has not thrown a pass all year.
Okay. Yeah, I think Pacheco's back at quarterback. And again, he runs the ball well himself.
4th and 4 for Chapman. A minute 44 remaining. They have the ball on the Whitworth 28. They have to get to the 24.
I got to think they're going to run an option here, and I would expect that it's not just a quarterback read, but you're going to have a chance at a pitch as well.
It is Pacheco at quarterback with Latu next to him. Crowd on their feet trying to help the Pirate defense. Manzano motions through the formation. Pacheco rolling to his right. Steps back, looks, throws deep over the middle for Zimmerman, and he makes the catch. Touchdown. 28 yards, and that will seal it. There is a flag.
That's late, though. That's a late flag. I believe it's going to be taunting.
Let's see what our umpire, Xavier Velasquez, says, but if it is taunting after the play, it'll be a touchdown, personal foul afterwards. Talking to Rod Sandberg on the Pirates sideline.
After the score, unsportsmanlike conduct, offense number 6. That penalty is being enforced on the point after try.
It is taunting.
Yeah, Pacheco, after he threw that, turned around and gave the sideline a little gesture there. Let him know that he just knocked him out of the tournament, is what he thinks. And so at that point, it's going to back him up.
Well, this is interesting
And this
because
is
they're
a
taking
big-
it on
yeah.
the PAT.
And so now, and the reason for that is if we do get a miss here, it's still a one-score game.
Nichols on to attempt the longer extra point now. Basically a 35-yard field goal attempt. They lead by 8, do the Panthers. This would seal it if he makes it. Snap is good, spot is good, kicks on the way, plenty of distance. And he missed it. Wow.
Right now, Pacheco made a costly mistake. When you're celebrating that way and you turn to the sideline by yourself and put your hands in the air and start waving goodbye, that gave the Pirates a glimpse of hope because the missed field goal or the missed PAT there keeps it an 8-point score, and the Pirates now with a minute 38 and still a timeout have an opportunity if they can come down, score, and get a 2-point conversion to tie it up.
Big if.
Sure, yeah, the way this Chapman defense has been playing, that's a really big if, but there is an if still.
Yeah. and they actually, I should have caught it on the extra point attempt. The penalty is being enforced on the kickoff. So that will enable Whitworth to have a little better field position.
Wow, that was a big, big opportunity there. Chapman could have sealed the deal. Instead, a 35-yard attempt. Again, his long was 39 on the year, so a 35-yard PAT is no easy walk in the park.
1:38 to go. Whitworth has a timeout. They're down 18-10. Alex Murphy, the special forces coach for the Pirates, talking to his guys. I think the main thing is secure the football.
Got a jersey flop there.
Yeah, they've been doing that regularly on kicks.
Yeah.
It's Luke McCorkle who changes to number 90 because Chase Gomes is on the return team as well.
Yeah, just interesting when you see a guy getting ready to run on the field, but before he does so, he's got to put a new number on.
So Gomes and Hoke, the return men for the Pirates, will set up at their 20 as Carson Nichols gets ready to boot it away for Chapman.
Man, that unsportsmanlike is big time costly here.
Do you kick a long squib kick, a line drive, just get it on the ground instead of putting it up in the air? Or they've covered it pretty well, just kick regular?
Yeah, they've covered fine. You just got to stay in your lanes and cover well. I don't think you change your kick.
He will kick it away, high end over end. It comes to Gomes at the 25. Trying to get to the outside and doesn't have much of a chance. Good defensive play that time on the kick by Brandon Brock.
Yeah, really good job covering the kick. You don't change stuff and try to mess around with it. You just do what you do well. But now instead of starting that drive, at the 15, 20-yard line, they're starting the drive in a much more advantageous spot. They're at the 38-yard line.
Lazio 19 to 27, 169 yards so far. This ball will be in the air. 1st and 10 from their own 38. Solano in the backfield. Wants to go quick, does. Got it to Wells, the tight end, and he gets out of bounds.
Yeah, great job getting the ball out quick, but also getting out of bounds, stop the clock. You don't have to worry about wasting a timeout or hurrying to the line of scrimmage.
Gain of 6, 2nd and 4. Call it 7, looks like. That's 6. Just looks like it's a lot shorter than 4. Ball out to the 46, not the 44. That makes a difference, 8-yard gain. Lazio being pressured, rolls, dumps it off. Solano makes the catch, trying to just get out of bounds, and he did according to the officials, he did get out of bounds, and it's a first down.
Yeah, that was really a judgment call by the official there, the linesman here, of whether or not his momentum's still moving forward. And so he does say he did get out of bounds moving forward and stops the clock.
That was interesting. You don't often see a receiver catch the ball and sprint to the sideline straight,
No,
as
you
opposed to
don't.
trying to pick up any yardage. Smart play by Solano. First and 10 at the Chapman 48 with a minute 22 to go. Whitworth has one timeout remaining. Need a big play, though. Long count. Lacio rolling right a little bit. Now going to avoid some pressure and not going to be able to avoid it for long, but he does enough to pick up a couple yards. They got to hustle, though, because they don't want to use that final timeout right here.
Well, yeah, and you got receivers that are 30 yards downfield that have to hurry back and get set.
Picked up 2 to the 46. They're set now with 1 minute left. The snap. Lacio has time, dumps it off, and it's a great catch coming back by Dietz, and they're going to say no. It hit the turf.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Dietz had the ball, but as he's falling down, it looked like the ball did bounce off the ground. His hand stayed on it, but the ground helped in making that catch.
So 3rd and 8, Pirates. They'll need to get something quick with 55.4 seconds remaining. If they don't convert it here, I'm guessing they go timeout to try to call a play, but Chapman uses its final timeout.
That helps Whitworth. I mean, they're trying to hurry here and get ready to run a play, but Chapman stops the clock for them. They just want to make sure, the Panthers want to make sure and talk to their guys, give them some reminders, make sure we're going to tackle inbounds, keep them in front of you, but it does help Whitworth reset their play call here as well.
Right now, Chapman looking like they will get a chance to go test Wisconsin River Falls next weekend. Whitworth would like to throw some drama into it, but facing a 3rd and 8 at the Chapman 46-yard line.
Well, and you did mention it at the start of the broadcast here, Bud, that the last time Chapman or the SCIAC Conference knocked off a Northwest Conference team was in triple overtime. The Pirates are trying to do what they can to get it to overtime, but Chapman would rather just win this thing in regulation.
Defense is back out. Pirate offense comes out. Trips to the right for Whitworth. Lacio looking over the defense. Do they come with a linebacker blitzing or do they go base rush? Let's see. Here comes a linebacker blitz. 2 of them come. Lacio under pressure. Going to have to run it. Can he get outside? Gets close to the first down, but he was tackled inbounds.
I think you got to stop the clock here, call a timeout.
Yeah, they're going to have to.
Yep. Yeah, 44 seconds left. He got tackled inbounds, couldn't quite scoot out of bounds, so they called their last timeout. And we got a 4th down play, which now is turning into the play of the game.
4th and 2. Somebody's season ends at the end of this game, 44 seconds later, but for somebody's season it will end perhaps on this play if Whitworth can't convert this 4th down. They're down by 8 points. They need a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to have a chance to send it to overtime.
Well, and over in the Chapman huddle right now, you also got to make sure you remind your guys, like we cannot be dumb here, right? Play-based defense, make sure we tackle. We don't want any penalties. We don't want to give them any kind of an edge. And essentially for Whitworth, you can go right to your 2-point plays if you want. What can we do to pick up a couple of yards?
Both teams out of timeouts. 44 seconds left. Wells is lined up as an H-back on the right. Haven't seen Nate Peterson in a while. Solano in the backfield on 4th and 2. Must convert. Pirates trying to get an offside penalty, but the officials say no, there was no encroachment. Matthews, the lone receiver, near the Pirate sideline. Snap to Lacio. Throws it quickly. Dietz catch, first down, stays on his feet. Still going at the 20. Dragged down from behind at about the 14-yard line.
Phenomenal play from Dietz, but you got to hurry up and get up there.
Clock running, 30
Spike
seconds
the ball.
left. Mark him at the 14. Lacio, I don't think he's going to spike it. He's going to run a play. Look into the end zone. Throws. Ball caught. Tobeck should have got out of bounds. He didn't. He could have run out of bounds. There's 15 seconds left. They got to go. First and goal. Now you spike it if you can. There's 10 seconds left right now. Lacio under center. Snap, spike with 5.9 left.
Boy, Dawson Tobeck makes a great play.
Boy, the
He's
Pirate
gotta
coaches
get out of
are
bounds.
out on the field unhappy with the play, with a non-call by the official. I'm not
Yeah.
sure what they're arguing about.
No,
What did you see?
Coach Sandberg's frustrated because on that big first down play, the clock never stopped at all to get the chain set. He wanted the clock stopped while they got set and then run the clock.
Would have saved him a few seconds.
Yeah, it would have saved him about 6.
Possibly a second play chance here if you throw one real quick and it's not complete. 5.9 on the clock. Snap, Lacio, rolling, only going to have one play. This is it, into the end zone, in and out of the hands of the receiver. 1.3 left, they're going to get another chance.
Yeah, rolling to the right there was scary because it does elongate the play there, and thought he could have ran out of time, but with the incompletion, 1.3, and here it comes, bud. Season on the line for the Pirates, sitting at the 5-yard line.
Here comes Nate Peterson in and said we hadn't seen him in a while. Tobeck leaves. Gomes comes in. Remember, he caught the short pass for a touchdown in this situation. He's pretty quick off the line of scrimmage. See if they try to run him for a slant. He's set up on the right.
Yeah, but he's tight. He's not going inside.
Dietz the only receiver on the left. 1.3 seconds left. This is your ball game. Snap, Lacio, a pitch, a reverse to Dietz, trying to cut outside. Now he throws it into the end zone. Caught! Touchdown!
Touchdown,
Whitworth!
Pirates! Yes! The Pirates score. That was a trick play, a flip to Dietz. As he's running, flips the ball out for a touchdown.
Wow. Taylor Wells makes the catch, his first touchdown catch of the season.
With the season on the line, you get a Dietz to Wells touchdown, and it sets up a 2-point conversion, which would be the play of the game.
They just brought Owen Harrison. This is about our 12th play of the game.
It is. We get a lot of these.
Tobeck's back in there. Owen Harris is in the backfield. He hasn't been there much at all. They got an extra blocking back, Logan Sweeney in there. They're going to snap it to Harrison, the Wildcat. Here's the snap. He wants a jump pass. Knocked away by Chapman.
We got a flag, though.
Gowdy with a great play to knock it away from Wells. What is the flag? Chapman says it's against Whitworth.
And there they are. Chapman's on the field celebrating. Game over.
Pirates are asking for an explanation for what the flag was. Here comes the call.
Illegal touching on the offense. That penalty is declined.
Illegal touching.
Results of the play, Betty complete pass. The game is over.
Well, and Coach Sandberg is going to go out there and talk more about the illegal touching. That being said, it wouldn't matter anyway. It was an incomplete pass.
Right.
And what a game, bud. Chapman celebrating. They come up and pulled one off. And again, for the SCIAC conference in Chapman, that's a barn burner that ends in their favor. And the SCIAC has now knocked off the Northwest Conference yet again.
Second time since 2018 when they've always played a first-round matchup. And what a ball game to come down to the 2-point PAT.
Meaning Chapman again, but not yet again. Northwest Conference dominated these series, but Chapman gets one there, and phenomenal game. And you just can't say enough about the grit in both of these teams. That was a lot of fun to watch, and proud of both teams and their effort.
Yeah, congratulations to the Panthers as they advance to head to UW River Falls. One of those games that was going to be a difficult one for either team to come out on the short end of. And Chapman with a huge celebration as Jacob Gowdy, the preseason All-American, was able to knock that ball away from the Pirate tight end, Taylor Wells, on an attempted 2-point conversion to send this game to overtime.
Yeah, and just, when you think about the end of that where you have a trick play to score the touchdown, and then you go deeper into the bag of tricks and you bring in a guy that doesn't throw the ball very often, doesn't get in very often, but he's going to try a jump pass and a wildcat. I don't mind the call because I'm sure it's been practiced many, many times, but it's one of those things where you will have some second guessing to think about. Do we use our guys that have been doing it all year and try to let Lacio get one to Dietz or something like that? But you can't fault for trying something crazy when it's down to the end. That was a phenomenal try. And again, you talked about it, but you get that preseason All-American that makes the play, and Chapman gets what they've earned.
Chapman wins their 9th straight game. They're now 9-2 as they head to River Falls. The Pirates see their 7-game win streak come to an end and finish the football season at 8-3. For Whitworth, a lot of guys will be back next year, and they'll be excited about that. But it'll be a tough off season, dropping one at home in the first round of the playoffs to Chapman. Congratulations to the Panthers as they get the victory in a thriller. 18-16, the final score. Matt Meathy, a lot of fun. Thank you very much.
Yeah, it was a blast. Congratulations, Chapman. Look forward to see what they can do next week in Wisconsin.
18-16, the final in favor of the Chapman Panthers here in Spokane. Thanks for joining us on ESPN+.